Midnight music. 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 Midnight music.
He'll be in the Hall of Fame eventually.
How do you not want to be in the Hall of Fame?
Because you're Brian Danielson and you're kind of not,
Vegan.
you're kind of a dick.
Like, dude,
in
you
real
had a great,
life.
you had a great run. What do you mean? You had a phenomenal run.
He had a phenomenal run for like a year, and like the rest of it was just like nothing to write home about.
He had a phenomenal run for like a year, and then he got injured and lived off that phenomenal year run for a long time. And then Vince is like,
Yeah.
"You got to go."
Hey, y'all still like saying yes, right?
It worked for the comeback. That was a great comeback when what was it, he teamed with Shane? Yeah, he teamed with Shane at 34. It's a lot of yeses in the air at in New Orleans. Will and I were there.
You know, I don't remember that match. Oh, he got his comeback match,
Mhm.
right? Yeah, no, I remember
That was a
that.
comeback match, yeah.
Shit, dude, I totally forgot that match happened at WrestleMania 34 until you just said that.
Yeah, 34
That
was
match
also
out
6
of my
years
mind
ago.
for so many. And I know that match was out of my mind for so many years, and it just boom snapped right back
Yeah.
in.
I remember looking around. I was like, wow, this is a really big collective group of yeses.
So he teamed with Shane against who?
KO and Sammy.
KO and Sammy.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's right.
Yeah, boy.
Holy shit, dude! What a time to be alive.
Yeah, that card was great until the end. when
Yeah, it was. No, you were 100%
when
correct.
Roman and Brock stunk up the place.
I'm pretty sure I have a video on YouTube about how much I hated that fucking pay-per-view as a whole.
It was good. I mean, it was on paper.
I didn't like. This is 34.
34, yeah.
34.
Find that card.
On paper, it was supposed to be the
2018.
greatest Mania of all time. It didn't live up to it by a long shot, but it had great moments.
I mean, on paper though, it was.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. On paper,
we had Charlotte
On
Asuka
paper.
1. We had AJ Nakamura. We had Roman Brock. We had a return Daniel Bryan. We had a debut of Ronda Rousey. We had John Cena, The Undertaker.
yes.
All right, so I'm looking at.
You
at
had
match
the
card.
IC title match, Balor,
With
Seth,
The Miz and Finn Balor.
and
Yeah.
The Miz. That was a great opener.
Okay, so the entire pre-show is dog shit. The
Yes,
opener
it
of
is.
the pay-per-view is great.
No, that's
That
when
was the Usos' first
Oh,
main,
this is the
main
pay-per-view
card
that
too.
Charlotte ended. That's why, because Charlotte ended
Charlotte
Charlotte
ended the
fucking
streak.
streak. That's why I hate this fucking
the
show.
pre-show had who won?
Jinder Mahal also won the U.S. title.
Yeah, he did.
He did, didn't he?
Cena Taker beat Cena in less than 3 fucking minutes.
It was all about the
And
entrance,
it was the
anyways.
best 3 minutes of my life. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
First of all,
And what was
Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss was on this
Alexa
fucking
Bliss.
main pay-per-view.
that was a good match.
Braun
That was a good
Strowman
match.
and Nicholas was the co-main event.
Okay,
That-
okay,
that did
did
happen.
occur.
And then Brock and Roman went 15 fucking minutes.
15 long minutes. Very.
15 minutes.
and we
15
booed
minutes
for
too many.
17 of them.
And there was a
It
lot
should
of
have
beach
just been
balls
one
going
F5.
around.
That was it. Should have been one F5 and then it was over.
It was so bad. People seen the video. It's so bad. Brock like walked backstage and like threw the
Threw it.
title at Vince. He was like, "This is a dick decision." Yeah, that was an okay card. And then the Bludgeon Brothers also happened that card too, which is kind of weird.
Against the Usos.
Yeah. The Bludgeon Brothers. It's the first time Bray and Matt Hardy teamed up.
God, what a
Yeah, that was the pre-show, though.
Yeah, and then
Matt Hardy won the Andre the Giant.
yeah, who won for the women?
Naomi.
It was
She won
Naomi.
she won the ovaries trophy.
Yeah. Yeah, because they couldn't call it the they could call it the Fabulous Moolah.
Because she was pimping.
People got so mad.
She was whoring people. Oh, back to back Soto and Judge. Damn right. Okay.
Fabulous Moolah found her bottom bitch and made it work.
It wasn't one. It was multiple. It was
I
a
know.
business.
But every pimp has their bottom bitch. So.
Yes, there's what's.
You guys haven't seen that episode of South Park, have you?
No, I'm more so.
I have.
Oh, okay. You know the Butter's bottom bitch
Bottom
episode?
bitch. Butters
Oh.
bottom bitch.
Yeah, absolutely.
Butters is a pimp. It's hilarious.
Oh,
Oh, it's
I've
so
seen
fun.
that one. No, I was
Do you know
subscribing
what
to.
I am saying?
I was subscribing to another. There's a YouTube, former YouTube personality, Kane Carter. He had a whole thing called the Bottom Bitch Theory, and it's fucking fantastic. Oh wow, Ben Affleck and J Lo got divorced again.
Isn't this like
Yeah.
the third time?
Dude, that's why Ben Affleck looked terrible at the roast of Tom Brady. Just going through a divorce. Dude, like when he was, did you watch it?
No, I did not watch the roast of Tom Brady.
Dude, first of all, hilarious. But Ben Affleck goes on this tirade of just yelling at internet trolls. I'm like, oh, you must be going through some shit. Turns out he was.
Not to mention that J-Lo canned an entire fucking tour.
Listen, I'm beginning to think J Lo is the problem here.
I'm trying to think that J-Lo's always been the problem.
Yeah. I think that's correct.
Yeah.
She has a song about literally being kind of like the town bike, and people are like, I don't know where this came from.
What song are you referring to, sir?
Isn't Jenny from the Block kind of like I'm a little too popular in the area?
No. Jenny from the Block is about don't like I'm still a girl from the Bronx even though I made it rich. It's not about being a hoe.
Oh, maybe I got the wrong artist on.
It's about being a drug dealer.
Jenny selling that block.
She's not the clips. She's Jesus.
Dude, she's
The
Jenny from
clips
the
are
block.
about
What do you
being
think you
drug
do on the
dealers.
block. Well, here's the thing, Ricky. There's 2 things you do on the block: sell drugs and sell women. It's got to be one or the other.
That's now. The block is more of a generic term.
or Lemonade, if you're a
Or
child.
Gucci Man. Lemonade's a great song. Not the album. I'm talking about Gucci Man. The song Lemonade's a great song.
Great song. It's a banger song.
Oh, Soto's going for career highs this year. Okay.
Yeah, he tied his career high in home runs. Which, yeah, dude, he's got the porch in left field, right field, of course.
Oh, New Yankee Stadium is a joke.
What's up?
New Yankee Stadium is a joke. How low that wall is.
How low the wall is?
How it's short.
I mean,
Short,
it's
I
the
meant.
same dimensions as the old Yankee Stadium. Those dimensions haven't changed.
No worse than Fenway though, with that fucking 2 foot fucking wall in the outfield.
Try like 20 feet, the Green Monster.
No, the other side of the field, Ricky.
Oh.
I'm not stupid. Fuck.
Oh, that little thing? Yeah.
Yes.
That is a weird little.
That thing
Yeah.
that random outfielder fucking went ass over tea kettle on back in like the 2008 or
I'm
something.
surprised
It's,
more
like, the
people have it
greatest
in
foot.
Fenway because that wall is rather low.
Yeah, it's kind of dangerous.
How expensive are monster tickets? Like to sit up in the monster on
A
the Green
lot.
Monster? Really?
A lot.
Yeah.
Just because of how
It's
iconic
unique-
it is, I
it's-
guess, right?
It's iconic, and it's one of the most unique seats in all of sports.
I still like. I feel like an underrated like MLB park is the Giants Park
Oh, I was.
Giants have a sick park.
Yeah.
with the fucking Coke bottle and the giant glove, and the guys in the kayaks out in the fucking
McCovey
out in the
Cove.
water. Yeah, it's great.
So Green Monster seats start at around 165 and
That's
go
not-
up significantly from premium games, sometimes reaching $600 to $700.
That's
So
not
if they're playing the
bad.
White Sox,
Mm.
you're gonna be paying $200 with all the fees and taxes.
That's
and
not
if it's
bad.
the Yankees,
Based on
you'd be
Jay's
paying
tickets
800.
prices, that's not bad.
How much did well, you guys have you guys
We're garbage,
It's
but we're still
in-
we're garbage, but we're still Toronto, so the markup is ridiculous.
It's also facts.
well you guys also it's also Canadian dollars.
Well, like okay, so like a ticket for like the third baseline for like a regular Jays game against like the LA Angels or like whatever like is like $140 a piece Canadian.
140 Canadian.
American
to
is probably
USD.
like fucking like
120-ish?
I have no idea what it would be, but
120-ish?
probably something like that, maybe a little bit more, a little bit less. I mean,
140 102.
Oh, that was significantly less than I thought.
yeah, but like for us, it's a lot, right? So like monster tickets for me in US would probably be like fucking just shy of 240.
Let's see. If I did 165.
You can't find, like, a
euro,
currency
that's
converter?
taxes and everything. Let's do. That's what I'm on.
165 Canadian
Let's
is
say
probably, like
let's say $200 is $272.37 Canadian.
yeah, we get absolutely fucked on the dollar. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So it's like if you wanted to buy Green Monster seats for like an average game, low ends, you probably remember not seeing like it's probably I think the Monster seats are 3 or 4 rows. You're probably in the back row.
Yeah.
You probably be paying around 272 Canadian dollars.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Yeah. So one US dollar is 1.362 Canadian dollars.
Okay, that's the conversion rate.
Yeah, your economy sucks, bro.
Well, I'm in Canada.
Yeah, but the air's so clean.
I know. It's
It's so.
it's all right, Slack. We'll both be renting for the rest of our lives.
It's no big deal. I've.
Both of you to assume
Good.
I can afford my own place in Canada.
You are still living.
We're in the
You're
same
still with your
vibe.
parents, right?
Yep.
Listen, dude.
Man,
Live it up.
mainly because I don't have a fucking choice in the matter.
Yeah, save that
Save the money,
bro.
dude.
Yeah, dude, I was talking to my
Trying to
friend the other
fulfill my lady
day.
is not easy.
I was talking to my friend the other day, and him and his wife moved back in with her parents so they can save for a house.
Yeah.
And he goes, Will, I have $57,000 in my savings account. What do I do with it? I'm like,
Save it.
I'm like, what? He's been living at home for like a year. I'm like, dude, first of all, fucking what? Second of all, put most of it in the market.
Yeah, a
Put
good
it
portion of it in the
somewhere.
market so it can grow a little bit faster than will in a savings account.
Yeah, as I do, it's like you just have cash sitting around. What are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? Oh, damn. A lot of cash. That's a lot of cash on hands. But God bless him.
Yeah, listen, it's got to do something. Got to do something. All right. Fuck, I forget it's Tuesday. I always think we're on Wednesday, but NXT just started. Catch up on that tomorrow. This is all about AEW. So, Slack, are you ready to go? Are you prepared?
I was prepared. I was all over me. I just.
Are you ready, Willing and
I
Gable?
just scream all this shit, dude.
You're ready, Willing and Gable. I'm ready, Willing and Gable. I still miss that stick. It was
Yeah, dude. American Alpha. American
Made.
Alpha,
No,
right?
it's American. Well, it's American Alpha. Yes, he is now.
Yeah, the original tag
Yeah,
team.
Gable now
Yeah.
started American Made, which is kind of
American Made.
cringe to me.
I'm not gonna lie. The first time I heard it, I was like, "Yes, nailed it, nailed it, fucking nailed it." And now I hear it, and it's like, "Oh, god damn it."
The logo's nice though. Their new logo's kind of
Yeah,
nice.
like when he was backstage, he's like, "We are American made," and I go, "I get it. It sounds great. Exactly. It's literally, dude. It's a Budweiser commercial.
Yes.
Like it's
Yes.
and when Chad Gable says it, I believe it. When Samantha Irvin says it, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. I just don't believe it.
If American Made just like ends up being crappy, they have to do like a Real Men of Genius commercial.
Why didn't they just name the Creed brothers the world's second greatest tag team? I think that'd been funny as hell.
That would have been
That would've been pretty
fucking hysterical. That would have been really.
They should make Julius Creed a single star though, man.
Oh, Julius is a monster.
Yeah, he's been great.
Julius is an absolute monster of a person.
They need personality.
They do. They are.
That's the only thing.
They are
they're
very
talented,
generic
but
creator wrestlers, but they are very talented.
It's like, yeah, dude. It's like, oh, you can wrestle. Guess what? So can literally everyone else. Like, what else you got?
I think
Sorry.
that's why they were Chad, because Chad has personality for fucking days.
Yeah, you're like, dude, even Savio Vega had a personality. He can kind of spoke English.
And
Like,
can
gotta give
kind
me
of walk
something.
these days too. So you know.
yeah. All right, ready?
I'm ready to go. Give me a countdown. Let's get this show on the road.
All right, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Midnight music.
Coming up this week on Kings of the Rings podcast, we interrupt your regularly scheduled program to actually talk about AEW. No, I'm not even joke. We're totally serious about this. We are going to talk about AEW for like a majority of the show, because we are going to go all in this week on the biggest pay-per-view in AEW's calendar, AEW All In from Wembley Stadium for maybe the final time. Don't worry, I know we both know nothing about what's going on in AEW. That's why we have a special guest with us, and he's going to cut us some slack. Slack is back, folks, to talk about AEW All In. So so sit back, relax, and yeah, let's go all in on AEW, exclusively here on Wrestle Addict Radio, Kings of the Rings podcast, 386, starting right now. Oh man, All In's going to be an American thing now. It's going to be weird, isn't it?
American males.
Oh, God.
American males.
Oh god!
American
I bet you
males.
that is where
males.
American Made came from. I can almost guarantee it. Ladies and gentlemen,
Yep.
welcome to Kings of the Rings podcast, episode number 386. Cutting you some slack. I'm your host, King Ricky Rose. Thank you guys for joining us. If you're watching us, thank you again. Please leave a like, share, and subscribe. If you are listening to us a couple of days later, also thank you. Hit some of those links below. Like, rate, comment, do all that fun stuff for us. It really helps us get this show out there. This week, folks, it's just myself and Will. Will is here as well. Hey, Will. But
American males.
yes, Mr. America, Will Darashok is with us today. Kayfabe is not going to be with us. We are actually recording on Kayfabe's birthday, so Kayfabe had many better things to do than be here with us. Suppose, you know, it's their freaking birthday and they deserve a time off, and especially because in lieu of Kayfabe, we brought in our official AEW correspondent,
it's official now.
no
It's
longer
official.
an intern.
I'm conducting some AEW.
Yeah, thank you,
business, excuse
thank
me.
you, Adam Schefter. Ladies and gentlemen, back again, Slack.
I'm not some guy on your Royal Facts anymore. I'm actually AEW
Yes,
correspondent.
I said you're the
appreciate that.
official AEW correspondent. Welcome back, Slack. How are you?
Good, but I'm just curious as to how long it's going to take before Kay's pet takes my job again.
Boris isn't that bright, so you might have some time.
Cool.
Yeah, dude. If you lose to a dog, like you kind of deserve it.
I lost to a fucking inanimate object last time, if we're honest here.
Listen, Freckles was on the
That's fair.
ball.
You did do
Freckles was
that.
on the ball. I don't care what anybody says. Freckles was freaking great. Well, Terrasek, how are you today, sir?
First of all, the cake to Kay Murphy.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Kay. That's my gift to you. I'm good, Ricky. It's been a good week. Summer's rolling down.
Thank
It's
God.
70 degrees.
Thank
It's
goodness,
gorgeous.
yes.
And I'm ready for fall, man. Bring those pumpkin spice lattes. Bring them on.
Yeah.
I'm not ready to be that basic, but I am ready for fall weather because fall is probably the most underrated season of the year, to be honest with you.
I agree with that heavily. I'm allergic to fall, but it's fucking worth it, dude.
Yeah, fall.
I hate that I can't roll around in leaves, but you know when I have a house of my own, I'm gonna roll around in the fucking leaves. Like,
and suffer the next
no one's
day.
gonna yell at me anymore, so I'm gonna totally do it.
Yeah, I'm ready for all that. We got a couple of more big summer shows in wrestling to figure out. You know, we've got All In this week, Bash in Berlin. I guess All Out counts at some point. So it's gonna be an interesting next couple of weeks for the show, which means I think we're gonna have Slack on like twice in 3 weeks. It's gonna be weird.
I'm about it, dude. Slack fucking killed it last time. I'm still laughing about how much he burned John Moxley.
This
to
is
the
news
ground.
to Slack.
Do you not know the AEW pay-per-view schedule, Slack? You are our official AEW correspondent. Don't
I
make
was
me
gonna
regret
talk
this
about
decision.
I was conducting some other business about AEW, so let me just. Oh yeah, you're not kidding. Okay.
Yeah. See?
Hmm.
See? Don't make me do your job.
I'll have to
better
check
than
my very busy schedule.
you. Yes, I'm sure. You're just so busy. You should hire a freaking secretary. Anywho, folks, we're gonna go all in on all in.
Fuck.
But before
Wow.
we do, we do need to talk about a little event that we went to, the first ever event of its kind, the Comic-Con of sports, you should say, Fanatics Fest NYC. Major League Baseball, NBA, NHL, NFL, Major League Soccer, WNBA. There was a golf simulator, UFC, and WWE. Icons from all of those leagues and sports and pop culture sensations all in the same place in New York City, and no one got shot. It is actually rather astonishing.
I mean, to be fair, it's in a nice part of New York City.
It's just
By the
Javits, really.
By the waterfront. Yeah, exactly.
It's just Javits Center.
A better joke would have been we were in a giant glass house and no one threw stones.
That is also true. The Javits Center is literally a giant.
Javits Center is just
giant
it's
glass
just like a
house.
glass dome.
Yeah, it's a glass.
A rectangular cube. It's like a toy. Like a kid made out of building blocks.
If you do think about it, it does look like the three stages of Hell Cage from WCW because of all the layers.
Yes, that's exactly what it looks like.
It does. It does. Anywho, myself.
God, that match was terrible.
It was really bad. Myself,
awful.
Willie T, and Kayfabe all went on Saturday of Fanatics Fest, and we had an absolute blast. Even more so because of all of the sports people that were there and memorabilia and stuff galore. Hell, even Jay-Z showed up. And he doesn't show up for
fuck
shit.
that guy.
I love
It was
Jay-Z.
cool to see
You
him.
quiet. Shut your mouth, man. But
He's all right.
God, Jesus, you uncultured swines. So be that as it may, of all the craziest things that happened, all the Hall of Famers from different sports and leagues and photo ops and autographs galore to get with most of these people. Like, we're talking about the Bradys, the Mannings. Kevin Durant showed his face in Brooklyn again or New York again after dipping and going to Phoenix. Anthony Edwards, all of those people. WWE superstars were the only group of people to sell out all of their autographs and photos. We're talking about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was there.
Even
Ozzie
I guess
Smith,
Hulk
like-
Hogan eventually sold
Yeah,
out.
I think Hulk Hogan did eventually sell out at some point.
Well, you know, I mean, to be fair though, I know Ozzy Smith, but the only reason I know who Ozzy Smith is because I watched Who's Number One so many times, and he was always on there for some reason.
Ozzy Smith's a
And
legend.
I'm pretty sure he was in MVP Baseball 05. But
Yeah,
like people, do you think a 20-year-old kid knows who Ozzy Smith is?
probably not.
I don't know who Ozzy Smith is.
Probably
Probably
not.
not.
Probably not. I mean, honestly, do you think they know who Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is?
Yes.
Maybe. If they're a basketball fan, sure.
Yeah.
But if they're not, no.
Yeah,
I know
Probably not.
Kareem, but not Ozzy as the youngest person on this panel.
See, there you go.
yeah,
And that's fine. He was a shortstop for the Cardinals in like the 70s.
yeah.
That's all
He
you
did
need to know.
backflips. It was amazing.
Yeah,
he did
yeah,
he
was
did have
really
a
good.
great backflip.
It sounds like he was very ahead of his time.
Yes, he was actually very, very, very much
Like,
so.
there weren't other than WWE, were there many active athletes there?
Yes,
Kevin Durant isn't an active athlete.
Kevin Durant just won the gold medal. Kevin,
Yeah, he's an active athlete. For
Kevin
sure.
Durant.
Durant's
He's an active athlete when he decides to fucking show up for once.
like in the gold medal game.
Like you said, Jeter was there, retired.
Yeah.
Mannings were there, both retired. Brady was there, retired. Gronk was there, retired.
so-
Yeah, but you're not factoring in legacy with that, you know?
No, I know, but what I'm saying is,
Like, who was from WWE that sold out? Like actual big names or like
yeah,
fucking
we're
mid-carders?
talking L.A.
Jay-
Knight, Jey Uso,
LA Knight,
Bianca Belair,
Bianca,
Jade,
and Jade.
Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley, Cody Rhodes.
Yep,
Sorry, were
CM
Bianca and Jade considered one item on
Together.
the ticket?
No,
Yeah,
they
they
were
were together.
separate. They were separate.
oh, they were separate.
separate
And they
Oh, shit,
both
were
and they
separate.
both sold out.
Yep.
They both
They
sold
both
out.
sold out.
I'm not shocked that Bianca did, but like I'm actually genuinely a little surprised that Jade did because like no disrespect to
I
Jade
am
Cargill.
too, actually.
I like
Yeah.
Jade Cargill, but her WWE run to this point has only been afloat
Been
because
bad.
of Bianca.
Been bad.
She's only been there for like 6 months.
Not like her
all
AEW
the
run
time,
was
so.
that good.
Yeah,
anyway.
I'm not saying she's cooked. I'm just saying what we've had so far has been
The only
bad.
thing that's good about
Yes,
Jade
it's a slow
Cargill's run
burn.
WWE, the only thing that's good about her run WWE right now is that her match on the pay per view isn't the guaranteed worst match of the night like it was in AEW.
Yeah,
Because like
Yeah.
there were so many matches that like, I had high hopes for with her. Like her match with Athena was just moving on.
yeah, it is pretty crazy that TK and AEW booked Jade way better.
Like Goldberg.
yeah,
They also
Way
they also
better.
signed her and then trained her for 6 months in the PC.
yeah. So you think she'd be better?
She is better. She's fine. You don't like. She's also doing a WWE schedule as compared to an AEW schedule. There are some things that you have to get used to, and you're
Right.
pairing
So,
her.
but I'm saying, so you're giving her more reps in the ring, so you think she'd be better. But I think her wrestling was better in AEW.
I wouldn't say that. But it's not that she's getting reps in the ring. She's getting trained by Bianca. Like, it's one thing to get reps in the ring when you're doing solo matches. You're not doing solo matches. You're doing tag teams with Bianca.
Yeah.
You also have to factor in exposure as well, Will, with that. So
Yeah.
it's like her matches in AEW, like you were lucky if they went fucking 10 minutes. But now like every match she has in WWE is going like longer than majority of her AEW matches. So like,
Fair.
she's expected to work a match, not just fucking eat them.
And she does do like her feats of strength in those moments.
Yeah.
She's really good at creating moments which make her stand out. It's like, holy fuck. But it's for her, I think it's more the routine things, the little things, because she has been very botchy.
I've
Um,
had this.
But that happened. Shit happens, right? Like she slipped a top rope. I think she fucked up where she landed, crazy things,
Yeah.
whatever.
Like a suicide
but-
dive or whatever.
Yeah. Which will be fixed over time, but
I think
not
WWE
good.
has
It's
this
not good
problem
if she's
with like
botching.
I mean,
And
It's
her
like-
backstage promos, like when her Bianca and Naomi were together on SmackDown, fucking cringe.
yeah.
because you don't
really
know about
cringe.
Demore and Mindful.
See,
Okay, but it's still cringe.
It's not. It's only
See, I
cringe to you
think
because you don't know the
WWE needs to
joke.
do-
That's why.
is to a certain extent, I think WWE needs to sort of go back to like the way it was back in like won't make sense off the top, but like I'll bring it full circle. Like WWE doesn't have like attraction wrestlers anymore. Like you know what I mean? Like Andre the
Yes.
Giant was like an attraction. Like he wasn't on every fucking house show. He wasn't on every fucking pay per view. It was just like when Andre showed up, it was like, oh fuck, Andre's here.
Mhm.
And not it wasn't just because of his size though. It was because of his inability to fucking move.
It's because he wasn't
So,
healthy.
it was-
yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is like someone like this isn't like for me. I really wanted Gunther to be a special attraction. Like he only wrestled on pay-per-views. He only wrestles for titles. Him on weekly TV is weird for me just because his first like what 3.5, 4 years that he was in WWE, he only wrestled on fucking takeovers.
Yeah.
Like he
He
wasn't.
was in
on
he was
UK,
he was in NXT UK for a while. I don't think that he
but he wasn't on weekly television.
because he seemed
That's
like
the
an
point.
attraction because he was only on UK and they taped a lot of UK.
No, I know, but
Mm.
then when they brought him over to regular NXT, they could have given him that weekly exposure, and they just chose not to. Right.
Well, to your point, Slack, too,
But-
I feel like about
Right,
a
my
year
main
ago,
point was that Jade needs to be taken off TV and not be on TV as much as she has been because it's slowly exposing her inability to actually carry a match. And I think it's going to make people really apprehensive when they eventually give her a singles push.
You don't take
Because
you
they're
don't
gonna
take
think we're
somebody
only-
off TV because they're doing
Not
badly.
take them off TV, but like keep her on TV, but like do more tag team matches with Bianca or have her manage more of Bianca's matches rather than wrestling matches. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that
I
has
think
to be
I
garnished
think
some
she definitely
trust.
needs. I think she definitely needs to be on TV. But Slack, I'm going to take the word attraction. Jade came in as an attraction,
Yes.
and she very much was presented as an attraction.
Yes.
She went from attraction to now, oh, she's just learning. Give her time,
Which is not.
which is bad.
Wrestle just like have her wrestle house shows so you can sell house show tickets.
She is wrestling
and then
house
like
shows.
Yes.
No,
Yeah,
I
I'm sure she
know,
is.
but like I'm just saying like don't have Jade Cargill wrestle on weekly television. I'm just gonna fucking say that because it's gonna expose her inability, and they're not gonna
Yeah.
be able to get her off the ground as a single star as much as they should be able to.
I see what you're saying, Slack.
So you
Yeah,
don't want
I
to
can see
have
that.
her get on TV to get better at being on TV.
She's already good enough to be on TV
So
because
why
she has
take
that
her off
star power
TV?
quality. Because she doesn't have the wrestling ability. She has the star power and the ability on and as like an attraction, but as a
Yeah,
wrestler,
she still
doesn't have it.
she still got the presence too. Like when
She
she
was on
shows
a-
up, you
I'm putting it
fucking
like this.
watch her.
Have her
Yeah.
just do her AEW squashes. Give her like 2-minute matches where like the person like gives her a smack and then she just destroys them like they were on.
They
AEW.
did that. They did that 2 weeks ago, actually, on SmackDown.
Chelsea Green.
Did she put down Chelsea
Was
Green?
it?
I thought it was Chelsea Green.
Was it Chelsea?
I forget who Jade went. It was someone. No, it was. I think it was one of the tag team champions or something.
Was
or
it Isla?
Blair Davenport, maybe.
Oh, it was Blair. I think it was Blair.
Isla. It's Isla or
I think it
Blair?
was Blair.
Because she's in a singles, so she's in a singles match in that tag team story.
Yeah.
And she put it down in like 5 minutes, and she looked great.
Yeah.
So it's like I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you want
Just
to
do that
have her
more.
wrestle on TV, do squash matches to get her
Yeah.
on TV, learn better on camera. But in the house shows, do the more technical stuff and learn how to wrestle.
Which is
Exactly.
probably what they're
Sure.
doing, but she's
Which
also
is probably
still
what they're
which is
doing.
she's also still on a tag team. We just have to give people pace. And like Jade is also, I think, very relatively fresh, even when she was in AEW. Like, in all intents and purposes, she probably shouldn't have been on AEW TV as much as she was. Like
They needed a draw for the women's division though.
yeah, because you could, but they just kept on using Britt Baker for a very, very long time. But Beaver doesn't make
Now we're back to using Britt Baker.
kind of. I think they're a little bit more timeless, even though Britt Baker's not the big star now. But there's a lot of Britt Baker stuff that has happened ever since she returned, and MJF punched the wall because of it. Anywho,
Yeah. Anyways,
Yeah.
so Jade sold out. So WWE really dominated.
yeah,
Access.
yeah.
Nice. Honestly, what it
We got
was to get
so
us back
far
on.
off topic, and I take full.
No, dude, but it was
responsibility
great.
for
It's a great. We had a great sideberg. But to stay back on topic, when I the first thing you hear when you walk in is the fucking WWE entrances with the,
Oh,
with the
yeah.
giant stage like they have at Access. And I was first thing I was like, they win.
Yeah.
They won just with that alone.
Mhm.
Because you know what the MLB had, Slack? The MLB had fucking cleats
Custom cleats.
and like posters.
Custom cleats.
Awesome custom signed cleats, a few jerseys. But
Didn't
like
you do the
in
bat swing
uh,
simulator?
Oh wait, so
The
those
bats
sorry, so
simulator
those
and batting
videos I was
practice.
seeing on social media of like Rhea Ripley and Drew McIntyre doing entrances, that was this Fanatics
Yes, that was
Yeah.
all there.
thing? Oh, I
Yeah.
thought that was just like some like charity thing they did over the
no,
weekend.
no,
or
they got money for that.
Yeah, it was called Fanatics
Yeah.
Fest.
No, I thought
so,
it was like
so it's
something
like
like-
they
I
they
thought it was
have
something
that
like-
they have that at Access too. So you line up and you can do an entrance.
Yeah, they didn't have
play
that in
their
Toronto.
music on the big jumbotron, and you can go and do the Finn Balor wah thing.
We had none of that in Toronto. We had guardrails and no security.
Yeah, no,
Awful.
it was a crazy event. I mean, between all the celebrities around, like Jake Paul was in the building too. Mike Tyson was there.
Yep.
We had NBA had a good
Travis
NBA.
Scott.
Travis Scott was a madman. Travis.
Is this a yearly thing or is this the first?
This is
time
the
they've done
first
it?
that they've ever done it.
It's the first
The
one.
rumor is
Yeah.
that they are going to go to Orlando in the fall as well as LA sometime in the early spring.
Nice.
for that as well. And it was a success. There was a lot of space. You could go, you could talk to vendors. You never felt overcrowded, which was surprising for me because I thought that thing was going to be slammed. But Javits is also a massive building, so I get it. But like there were NBA players in the NBA pavilion, like shooting hoops with children. Rob Gronkowski was running 40s with children. Tom Brady was throwing passes. Like it was the weird time, but it was absolutely awesome. And WWE completely dominated. Of all the fans that were there, it was mostly wrestling fans, and we were the loudest, we were the craziest. Some dude came out the Hulk Hogan's theme wearing Iron Sheik cosplay.
Yeah, it was great. It was really cool.
So hot.
WWE was definitely we started a "fuck you" solo chant.
Yeah.
And like if you don't watch wrestling and you're like it's a basketball thing, like
What's going on? Yeah.
What?
Triple H popped up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You know, they gave out a bunch of our legacy belts. UFC had a freaking octagon. We met Holly Holm, which was cool.
Yeah. In the octagon.
The
octagon's really cool.
Very bouncy in the octagon.
The whole convention was spaced out very well. Like I like how the meet and greets were in their own corner.
God, thank God.
And their lines didn't get in the way of anything else.
And they moved.
So like I didn't do any meet and greets, so I just stayed away from that area because there was nothing over there for me.
Correct.
And I got to do everything else. There was also food everywhere. They had multiple food stations that all pretty much had the same thing. That was really smart. And then they split it up between attractions on one side and then collectibles and stuff you can buy.
A lot of card stuff.
Yeah.
Which was good.
Yeah.
You bought a baseball.
And a superstar in the middle. A superstore in the middle. So
yeah.
They made good money.
Yeah, no, absolutely great. Paul Heyman. And the great thing about it is you had the big stage for the big events. You had a small center stage. You had Rich Eisen was doing a podcast. We sat in the Sam Roberts podcast, which is a great time. Sam Roberts is an absolutely fantastic interviewer.
A very good interviewer.
Very,
very good interviewer.
There were shows going on the entire time, but unlike I think at WWE World, and you can probably agree with me with this one, which apparently that was Fanatic's first event, was WWE World. So WWE ended up being the guinea pig for Fanatics Fest. And unlike WWE World,
I can tell.
WWE World was loud. I remember it just being like really loud, and this didn't feel loud.
It was very loud. Yeah, it was very loud.
This didn't feel loud, but they clearly Fanatics learned. There are still some stuff they had to work on. Some shows went over time, or they just had scheduling things. Like Rey Mysterio was supposed to do an entrance at like 3 and end up going on to like 3:45 because Travis Scott was being Travis Scott, and just running around with like a giant security team. Cody had to leave early, and Cody didn't do all of his autographs and photos, so he had to be on a house show. So and some people were ticked about that, but there seemed to be some scheduling things that they need to work out. But I think it's only going to get better. We'll definitely go again.
Oh, for sure, 100%.
Did we lose Slack?
And yeah, that's just. I think we might have lost Slack.
We're on our own here.
Okay. Let me see. I can't see. He's turned. He's here. He's muted.
Okay, he might be busy. Okay,
so he's here.
Yeah, any final thoughts on Fanatics Fest?
Yeah, we're definitely gonna do it again. I mean, there's definitely growing pains, and I understand like if you got paid to see Cody and you didn't get to see Cody, I'd be pissed too. I would demand obviously a full refund. I'd probably even try and get my money back for the ticket itself. But there was plenty of other things to do if that did happen to you, where I feel like it didn't have to ruin your entire experience. There was something there for everybody. If you wanted to do the museum and read the plaques, look at the old things from even the Sports Illustrated section.
Sports Illustrated Museum was dope.
Yep. If you just want to listen to panels and podcasts all day, you can do that. If you want to wait in line and do the games and do more interactive things like the UFC Punch, you can do that. So if you want to just buy stare collectibles, be like, wow, someone painted Mickey Mantle's alcoholism perfectly, you can do that. There was so much to do all in one place. And if you want to do a little bit of everything, guess what? You can do that.
Yeah, you can even look at all the freaking Super Bowl rings.
Yeah, and dude, and shout out to the soccer trophies.
The soccer trophies are dope. I hate watching soccer, but the trophies are dope.
Yeah, the trophies are the greatest trophies. Like,
Champions
Super
League
Bowl is
trophy is
just-
like the prettiest trophy in sports, man.
Well-
That Champions League
Yeah.
trophy is beautiful.
Yeah.
I love
They're-
soccer, man.
Gorgeous.
Yeah,
Soccer's
I'm
the fucking
surprised they didn't
best.
have like the tennis
like the Wimbledon, the
bowls
Wimbledon
with the
Bowl. Yeah,
cups. Yeah.
The cricket
I'm surprised like
champions.
nothing like that could have
I'm
been
also-
there. Like tennis, NASCAR.
yeah. I'm
where it's like
Well,
I'm
annual
also
cups.
very surprised Lord Stanley's Cup was not there in the display case somewhere.
Because it has an official home and it doesn't move.
Bring the fucking replica. You know you guys have them.
No. Legitimately, we don't.
Don't lie to me.
No, they have one.
No,
and they
I'm
start
telling you,
banging
I'm
up
telling
it
you
before
right
they
now,
make it look
the
like the other
Stanley
one.
Cup that is currently on tour is the only Stanley Cup. There is a replica that sits in the Hockey Hall of Fame, but they swap it out once the season starts, and it's the real cup in the Hockey Hall of Fame. And it's mesmerizing seeing that cup in person because it's like the greatest cup. It's like the greatest trophy in sports.
You could have brought it to Fanatics Fest. I don't give a damn NHL. You could have done better.
I mean, the legacy of the Stanley Cup though is fucking.
It is
cool.
really
and like
Not
get
gonna
to
lie.
and to like
It is.
feel
It's
the
just like
engravings.
I respect the dedication. 100%.
Feeling the engravings of the names on the cup is just because they let you fucking touch the thing. Like they're not like don't touch. Like oh yeah, absolutely touch it. Like
Just don't steal it. You'll break
Yeah,
it
yeah.
more.
yeah, for real.
Yeah, you can even pass off it. But yeah, Fanatics Fest NYC, if it comes to a city near you, definitely check it out. If you are a sports fan of any kind, you'll probably have something really, really fantastic to do. Speaking of coming to a city near none of us, All In is actually coming to America next year. AEW decided to go to Texas, not at AT&T Stadium, no, where the Texas Rangers play, Globe Life Field, which, to be honest with you folks, is literally like right across the street from where the Cowboys play. It's in the same area. Just, you know, a little bit smaller. Nice looking field though. But All In for the first time, AEW's biggest show of the year is gonna come stateside to
Look at
Texas.
that belt buckle.
Yeah, God, look at that belt. So,
What that is.
AEW correspondent Slack, what are your expectations of All In Texas?
I don't even. The thing is like the problem. Not the problem, but it's just like you could probably predict that card already. Like. Like
Fuck.
it's sort of
Here we
fucked
go.
up, but it feels to me like you can AEW feels like it's sort of like on a very purposeful direction, and I feel like this I don't know how, but I feel like this
Is he on the
No,
card?
he's left. He's done with their contract, I believe.
I'm
I
not
know.
sure how we're
It's
gonna
'cause- it's
get
'cause Charlotte's
there.
coming back.
Yeah.
But I feel like I have a prediction for the All In pay-per-view. The All In Texas pay-per-view's main event somehow is going to be Kenny Omega versus Hangman Adam Page for the AEW World Championship, and Kenny's going to win it from Hangman.
So you're just gonna
I
like
don't know why, but it just feels like that's where we're going because I feel like next year they're going to figure out a way to do it. We're getting Kenny Omega versus Okada for the World Championship next year. I would put money on that for sure.
technically Okada's not even
Yeah,
on
I'll
the
be at All
card
Out
this year,
weeks
which
later.
is crazy.
Kenny's made out of paper and wishes right now, so it's
Well, I'm
just
not
like
talking about I'm talking about Okada's not on the card this year.
good. I'm so sick of seeing Okada every week. It drives me nuts to no end. As we were talking about before, Okada is not an attraction anymore. It's just fucking Wednesday.
He's overexposed.
Yeah, absolutely. Because
I mean,
like,
if the clothesline wasn't evidence enough that he was overexposed, but there you go.
like I would just say, like with Okada, I understand why you would want to have him on weekly television. Like I fully understand that from a business standpoint, but I also don't understand it from a business point because no one's gonna buy a pay-per-view. Obviously, people will buy a pay-per-view, but I'm just saying it's like if Okada's name was only tied to pay-per-views, I feel like their sales would be higher, and like their TV ratings would probably be like. I know that's why they're doing this because their TV ratings are slowly going into the fucking toilet. But I don't know. I just feel like signing guys like
They're also trying to get a TV deal too.
like the
I heard
thing
they
is
got
like
they have an offer in place.
I don't mind
Yeah,
them
it's-
signing the New
it's-
Japan guys.
sure.
I get why you'd want to sign them because of like the ability, like the wrestling ability. I fully understand that. But it's just so jarring to see Okada and Ospreay on weekly television when it was just like you would only see them every couple of months in North American wrestling. And like to an extent, I'm grateful for it, but at the same time, I'm like, can we just like slow it down, please?
Well, you gotta do something with them.
I don't
You
I
sign.
know that's
It's
controversial, but like that's just how I feel about it.
not really controversial.
You
but-
can't have too much of a good thing, and right now we have too much of a good thing with Osprey and Okada on weekly television.
Could be interesting. One of them's actually being used. The other one's just Okada. I think he says "bitch" is the only thing in English he says these days.
But I'm actually glad he's not wrestling because at least like it makes his matches more special. But Osprey's wrestling every fucking other week.
The last thing I remember about Okada doing, he was like messing with like someone's like
the
promo.
wrong button.
Yeah, like oh, I hit the wrong button. I was like, Jesus Christmas.
I'm so sorry, bitch.
Yeah, that's the last thing I remember. I was like, wow, we're going this angle.
They
Okay.
literally are selling a T-shirt that just it's his headshot and it just says "bitch" underneath it. I'm pretty sure it's an actually like an
That
official T-shirt
AEW
on their
design team always top notch.
shop. Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Always top notch. But back to All In. Will, do you foresee us even attempting to go to All In Texas? Because I'll be honest, I'm curious. I've been to Dallas. I've been to Dallas multiple times,
I'm a little
and I'm
curious.
very okay with the city of Dallas. Great food, very easy to travel around. I'm curious right now.
I'm not gonna lie, Ricky. I haven't made up my mind about Texas yet. This as a state,
Fair
Say
I
as
went
a
to
place
Austin.
to go or just like Texas.
as a place
Yeah.
to go. Yeah.
as a place to go, honestly, and as a state. This as a state. I don't like. Do I like Texas? That's a question I can't
gotta be
answer right
there.
now. Like Austin, I enjoyed Austin, but part of me was just like, this is it. This is Texas. This is what everyone was talking about. Like outside, like when you leave the airport and you're just on the way into the city, you just completely judge the countryside. I judged the shit out of Texas, but not enough to be like, I hate you. But then again, Austin wasn't good enough to be like, you know what, I like you. So I think,
unnecessary hate is such a Texas thing.
yeah, I guess
True.
I need a second opinion about Texas. So yeah, I'll go. It's
I'm
possible.
curious.
Sure.
I mean, the AEW ticket's not going to be that expensive, in comparison to WWE. So, like, it's relatively doable.
I'd go to Dallas. I mean,
Dallas is dope.
I heard Dallas,
Dallas
is
is
a lot of
really
fun.
dope.
Would you only
Yeah.
go for the wrestling, or would you go for like say like a Dallas Stars game or like a Cowboys game or something?
Number one, I will never sit in a fucking Cowboys game. I do. The stadium's beautiful. Been there twice for WrestleManias. Stadium's great. Love the stadium. Fuck the Cowboys. Yeah.
No,
Man, I just like the Cowboys because I like watching them be good in the regular season. But I love watching their fans cry after the first round.
Cowboys are
Like I
NFL.
love it.
Like week 5, this is our year.
Yeah, right. They're the Mets fans of the NFL.
Least fans of the NFL for fucking.
Speaking of Cowboys, my fantasy football draft is going on
Oh
right now.
Jesus Christ!
Dude, I got third pick. I do auto draft
You
every year.
bastard! You fucking prick!
Strategy. It's a strategy.
Does auto.
You need a wild card. You need a wild card in this league. That's me.
Jesus. Anywho, but no, Dallas is dope. But if we were, I wouldn't go just for the wrestling to answer your questions. Like I do have some friends in the Dallas area, so I would probably stay for an extended
Of course you do.
period, just to like
Yeah.
chill out and hang with them.
Like if all that was Saturday, we would probably do like Thursday to
Well,
Monday.
this is All In, and All In is actually going to be on Saturday, July 12th. So they
Yeah.
are moving it to a Saturday event, which smart job AEW, worked well for WWE. To be completely honest with you, so All In Texas yet to be known. It's less than a year from now, July 12th, Globe Life Field. Let's see what happens with this year's All In. Speaking of which, All In is this Sunday from Wembley Stadium, August 25th, 2024. On paper, pretty interesting card. I will tell you this: the card we have right now is about 9 matches, and 8 of those matches are for some sort of title or championship. The 9th match is a gauntlet match that guarantees you a world title shot.
I like how Okada's front and center, but he's not even on the card.
No. He might, I don't know, but Okada's just right there in the middle.
There's a wild card team that's supposed to be in the Fatal 4-Way. I won't be surprised if they somehow work Okada into that.
And it's got to do something.
Also, Tony Storm being in black and white is one of my favorite things.
it is
of all
it is
time
one of
in
the best
wrestling.
AEW games that everything she does is in black and white.
Yeah, it's I can't believe it. It's so unique.
Golden
it's
era
perfect.
Tony Storm, which is going to be a very
Yeah.
very interesting time. So yes,
Good for her because she floundered in
She didn't
WWE.
give it enough time, I think. But that's just
He was
I
good in
don't
the
think it was.
UK.
I don't blame her at all. I think it was just.
yeah, I think it
management.
was management. Yeah,
Yeah,
Main roster.
it was just it was more the machine than
than her. Yeah,
Her.
it was also
Yeah.
the old creative team, I think, as well. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, I didn't want to say Vince, but
yeah,
Vince
it
and
was the
crew.
old. You can say the old creative team. That's the one I'm going with. That didn't know what to
The
do.
old machine.
The old with the old team. Yeah. But yeah. So on paper, after reviewing this card, hours before the show, on paper, this looks like a really good card. At least the top parts of the card, like your main, your top half of the card looks really good, and everything else kind of just seems thrown together. If I'm being honest with you, so.
Dude, this card is kind of fucking with me because Moxley looks like Triple H let himself go.
Although
Mercedes looks like Oscar without her face paint,
Damn.
and then Will Ospreay looks like Chad Gable and CM Punk combined.
I probably will never look at Will
And
Ospreay
then
the same.
Britt Baker looks like Nia Jax.
Britt kind of looks psychotic in this. Like she's like her eyes are very intense in this photo.
Like everyone in Chris
Jericho's
Jericho
just happy to be
like high
there.
school-
Yeah,
high school Chris
yeah,
Jericho.
happy to be
Yeah.
here.
But yeah, dude, like this image right here is just fucking fucking a little bit.
It's a weird class photo for AEW. I'll say
It is a weird class photo. It's a very
We'll
weird
say
class
that.
photo.
So
Christian looks great though. Fucking look at him.
yes, very mindful, very demure. So let's go to the top of the card, and what's obviously, I think, going to be the main event. We have what's being crafted the final countdown: title versus career. Swerve Strickland, the AEW World Champion, who since last year's AEW All In Wembley Stadium has had a fantastic 1 year run. I think I remember talking to you, Will, when we did All In last year, or recapping All In. I was like, Swerve looks like a superstar, and I think he's going to do big things. And lo and behold, he's now the champion, going up against Bryan Danielson, who is, I believe by the time All In airs, will be officially his 25th year in wrestling. And Bryan Danielson, who has never won the AEW,
The man is flowers.
absolutely. Bryan Danielson, who has never won the AEW championship in 4 previous attempts, is going after it again. And he said if he cannot win the AEW title, sounds very much like Cody Rhodes, he will never, ever wrestle again. So the big question is, are we seeing the end of Bryan Danielson? Yeah, that's the question. AEW correspondent Slack, the floor is yours.
Hopefully.
Jesus.
Thank you, Slack. Will Tereshak,
Nah.
your opinion.
No.
Go ahead, Slack.
I don't have anything against.
Yeah, go ahead,
I don't
Slack,
have anything
please.
against Danielson. I really don't. I did. Because I said on the last time I was here that Danielson has the same problem as Moxley, is that they try to make the WWE run non-existent, which I understand that, and that's fine. If you weren't happy with that run, but at the same time, half the reason why you're over in AEW is because of those runs. So with that, I understand. I don't have any malice towards Danielson, or not malice, but like whatever. I don't have any problem with Danielson doing what Moxley does because I think Danielson actually does it well.
Yeah.
So with this, I don't know. I feel like if Danielson hadn't done his whole like in 1 year I'm retiring because my kid asked me to. Like if he hadn't done that, I would find this match more interesting. But it, like Will said, this is Cody Rhodes Jericho, where it's just like if I can't win,
Slack.
I'm not gonna.
I was the one that said it was Cody Rhodes, but go.
No, but
I know.
used to
Will
you
and I
not giving
look the same. It's understandable and sound the same. I get it.
The haircut. Man,
It
really
is the
does,
haircut. I understand.
It gets me confused.
Yeah.
Regardless of which king said it, it's you're spot on with it. So I feel like they want this to be like this match where it's just like, oh, like Danielson might never wrestle again. We already know he's not gonna wrestle again. Like he's already talked about the fact that this next year, like I don't know when his actual contract ends, but I don't see Danielson. Danielson doesn't strike me as the type to like win a belt and then in like 3 months just be like, okay, I'm retiring. Here's your belt back.
You mean like what he did
But
with the WWE World Championship?
Well, that was sort of different in that regard. He's choosing to retire this time. Before his neck was like, "You're retiring." so with this, I feel like it has to be Swerve, and it should be Swerve because we need Swerve Hangman for that belt at some point, and I
Mhm.
feel like that has to be the All Out match. Obviously getting ahead of myself, but yeah, I'd say Swerve after like a good 25 minutes, he probably hits like 3 house calls and like 2 stomps in like succession and just put Danielson out, and then Danielson puts him over. Danielson gets his flowers, and off into the vegan sunset he goes.
To the vegan sunset. I should have named the title of the show "Off into the Vegan Sunset." Maybe that'll be next week's title.
Hey, man. That's why we used to name the shows at the end, not the beginning.
I know, but like, listen, I had to do cutting some slack at some point.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, no, I definitely agree with Slack on this. Swerve needs the Ode Yeller Brian Danielson, and that's the
damn.
but that's the biggest compliment you can give a retiring wrestler. You know,
Yeah, it is.
yeah, just put him out of his misery.
I'm gonna save you from yourself.
Moment from Swerve,
No,
like, where he's just like,
no.
about to kick Danielson's head in.
No, I really hope they don't do "I'm sorry, I love you" moment. Just kick his head in. Like, I just want Swerve to be vicious.
Did the Young Bucks do it as a joke?
I was gonna
right? They
say
can't
the
do it
Bucks did that
seriously.
distinct, didn't they?
Like they do it. They've done it multiple times.
I'm sorry, I love.
Yeah. So no, this needs to be it. I think this All In, and with
They gotta go
AW.
all in on Swerve.
Yes. Well, with this All In being the biggest show of the year, and it's being their WrestleMania, and also they've already eclipsed 5 years as a company. Now some of your stalwarts, some of your people that helped build the company, even though they're WWE former WWE alumnus and whatnot, and help kind of build this new company, it's time to start phasing them out. So it's time to start phasing them out. And it's also time to start rewarding people in various ways, and rewarding people in wrestling terms in various ways for the years that they've had. In the instance of Swerve Strickland, you have to reward him for doing all of the good work that he's done, those amazing matches with Hangman Page, and he's been a pretty damn good champion for all intents and purposes. And you reward him by having him go over and beat and get the rub by retiring Brian Danielson. There's almost no better compliment in the wrestling world than to take out a legend and they never wrestle again. I think it has to be Swerve. He gets rewarded for his good work this year, and he also gets a little bonus by retiring Brian Danielson. And Brian Danielson will be the final MSUC in All In.
I see your point about like giving like the guys that have helped build the company like like their due.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, or just like they're sorry, the guys that helped build the company are being phased out. But then you look at like later on the card, Jericho is champion, like, and he keeps winning freaking belts.
I know.
So,
Jericho's an anomaly.
I hope Danielson gets phased. I hope Danielson gets phased.
Jericho was a great champion.
The first one, he was the best first champion they could have had.
yeah.
Yes.
Which,
By the way,
he
was a phenomenal champion.
I was the only one on that card because I was on the show before that card, and I was the only one of the three of us that said Jericho had to win it because of star power. And both of you guys were like, "Oh fuck, you make a really good fucking point."
We're gonna have to contact Freckles about that allegation.
Allegation.
Yeah, Slack. You couldn't remember what Ricky or I said 10 minutes ago. Do you remember 5 years ago?
I have certain
You said
podcasts saved.
please.
Yeah.
Although I do remember not wanting Jericho to win that first one. But in hindsight, it was 100% the right call.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, Will, what's your choice on this?
That being said, I want to see Danielson win that belt one more time.
Oh.
I have this one more run. One more run. I would not be upset if he won this match and went on for another run. No disrespect against Swerve. I agree with everything you said, Ricky, about passing the torch. And 5 years is a good enough time to like, okay, the transition needs to happen 1,000%. But then again, Brian Danielson, Daniel Bryan is one of the most beloved wrestlers of the last 30 years. One more title run on top before he goes out. It just seems pretty good. It feels good as a fan.
So do you want him to go on like the run that like Ric Flair and Mickey James did, where it was just like, I'm gonna keep wrestling until I lose, and then like
I mean, if I was gonna book my retirement, that's what I would do.
So
for my personal career,
just for argument's sake,
I think Danielson loves to lose. That's the other thing.
Awesome.
Danielson loves fucking losing.
Some of his best matches are in a loss. Look what he did for Kofi.
Yeah, exactly. True.
My other issue with it is I don't see who they would put over Danielson if it's not Swerve.
Also true.
Oh, Hangman.
No,
Hangman.
Hangman doesn't need it. Hangman's already
But isn't he a heel? Put it this way: who's your biggest heel in the company?
MJF.
That's and there's your answer then. But he already has a
Yeah.
title.
Yeah, but I can see MJF.
Like Danielson could literally drop it in 2 months. He has
Drops to Okada, and then that sets up Omega Okada.
There you go. That too.
How many times? Correct me if I'm wrong. How many
But-
times has Danielson and Okada gone at it? Twice.
I think so, maybe 3.
I only remember 2, and I always felt
I was at the
like
first one when Okada when the broken arm happened.
yeah, I always felt like this they needed to go a third, and like Okada Danielson for the title would be great. But I just don't see it happening.
Neither do I, but I could see it working for sure.
Yeah, I can see it working. Yeah,
I mean, the good news
The
for
buy rates would be
AEW
insane.
is, it doesn't really matter who wins because it's both can tell good stories
Absolutely.
moving forward. So you're in a win-win situation here.
The thing is that they're already.
I'm
setting up for a
gonna
backdoor.
go with Danielson. I'm gonna go with Danielson. It's because I think there's more matches that have intrigue where the roles are flipped and now he's the champion. Like him and Kenny when he's a champion, or him and Okada when he's a champion. It's just a different vibe, different kind of match.
What
tells a different story.
What if?
okay. What if you got the mic in
And
his hand?
hear me out.
Yes,
This is a bit of a whacked out idea, but
Usually.
I just had an epiphany.
epiphany, but yes.
It's an R-Truth reference. Okay. What if Hangman Page wins the Casino Battle Royal
Mm-hmm.
and costs Danielson the championship so he can be the one that beats
So
Swerve?
he can beat Swerve.
So like Danielson's like this close, and Hangman screws him out of the belt, retires Danielson, and that sets up Swerve Hangman.
It's a great story.
I can see it happening.
It's a great story.
you want to get screwed. You
and
want to
honestly,
get. You want
that would be the kick in the ass AEW fucking needs to get me like fully invested.
I like
because
the idea, but if it's like AEW put a 3-minute video package to fucking a Green Day song for the time of your life for Brian Danielson's
Oh, I
like
know.
career retrospective. I don't think
which is
you
why it would be such nuclear heat for Hangman.
it is,
That he
but I
I
don't
can't believe they left out the.
I don't
Because
think
way
it's
too many
needed though. I don't think it's needed.
But way too many people are still cheering Hangman. You need a reason to have everyone turn against him, and this would be a really good reason to turn everyone against him.
Yeah, but not for the retirement. Not for the retirement of Brian.
But it'd
Yeah,
be so
it-
funny and it'd be so AEW, wouldn't it?
it would, but you can't do this to him.
No problem.
You can't.
Let's put it like this: Baron Corbin retired Kurt Angle. Anything can happen.
In a straight match, though, it wasn't a dusty finish.
I'm just saying.
Fair.
I'm just saying. Anything can happen. I'm putting my money down on it. Hangman Page screws Bryan Danielson.
It's a
It's
risk.
a risk.
It's a ballsy move.
I think it'd be great. I'd book it.
It's a ballsy way to end your biggest pay-per-view of the year. It's a ballsy move.
I don't think, honestly, Slack. I don't think the fan base can handle it.
Exactly.
AEW's
Which is
fan
why
base
they
is
should
fucking-
do it.
they're fucking
Which is
cowards,
why they
dude.
should
They're
do
in
it.
their shadow.
Why they need to do it.
Listen, some people want to see the world burn. And speaking of world burning, friendships are burning in the AEW Women's World Championship. Timeless Tony
Dark
Storm
horse match of the night right here.
versus former protege Mariah May. It's Mariah. I know it's not Maria. It's Mariah May.
Thank you.
Yes, Mariah May, who essentially turned on Tony, and Tony is all still golden era Hollywood Tony in black and white, even in the freaking logo for this
Love it.
match. This has been one of the most consistent long-term stories they've been telling for a very, very long time. This had to come to a head, and it had to come to a head at their biggest show of the year for the biggest title in their women's division. I'll say before, and I said it with Swerve and Danielson, you reward people who have done a lot of good work. In this instance, in particular, you reward Toni Storm for a great run by having her drop to Mariah May. From what I've seen of Toni and everything she's done, what else is she going to do with this title? Like, what more could you do? Could you go up against Britt, but Britt stuck with Mercedes, in that title scene?
Go back to
Go
WWE.
back, like,
That's what she has left to do, man. That's it.
She takes the black and white from Karrion Kross's Final Testament and just takes it.
Dude, she just debuts and just murders
Something
Charlotte.
like that, yeah. But yeah, there's nothing more you can do. Like I get it's the timeless run, but it should be timeless because it has a time limit to it. And I think this is a limit here, and I think this is a reward that Tony wins in a loss by helping put over Mariah May. In this match, I think this is going to be the first title change, or not the first, but it's going to be one of the title changes during this card. So I'm going with Mariah May here. AW correspondent Slack.
I'm shockingly not sure about this match.
Really?
Yeah, because like there have been a couple of times where I'm like, okay, this is when Tony drops it, and then she never does.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I'm curious if they think Mariah is ready to be the flag bearer of the women's division. Like, I understand that Mercedes Moné is, one of your champions.
Yeah.
But this is your women's world champion. So this has to be the person that you have a lot of faith in. And up until I'd say about 2 weeks ago, I would have picked Tony Storm.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I really would have. But surprisingly, someone not involved in this storyline is the person that has made me change to Mariah May.
Okay.
And that is Mercedes Moné's muscle, Camille.
Mm.
She's the reason that I'm thinking that Mariah wins this. And I'll bring this point back around when we get to that match.
Which is probably happening soon, by the way.
I'll explain my reasoning when we get to that match. But I do think it should be Mariah May.
Mm-hmm.
But like Will said about Danielson, I won't be shocked if it's Tony Storm. Nor will I be upset. But I think it should be Mariah May. But I won't be shocked if Tony does it.
Interesting. Will Tarashok.
Tony Storm, man. It's just the best gimmick. It's the best thing going. If it's still hot, don't stop. If the crowd is still into it, if it's not getting stale, keep it going.
It was getting stale, and then Mariah May, which is funny.
It's Mariah May
Last
turn
time
brought it back up.
Last time I was here, I said that Tony Storm's character needed a kick in the ass to like get going again. Like, it needed a reinvigoration, and I hadn't even considered the Mariah May heel turn. I knew that was coming, but I figured it would involve her losing the belt.
Mm.
But Mariah turning heel was absolutely the change of the slight change of directory that this Tony Storm character needed to like really get going again, which is why I was thinking about Tony being the one to do it for so long, but I do believe it should be Mariah.
It's going to be interesting with this match too as well, because Mariah is from the UK, if I'm not wrong on that, she is. So there is going to be a little bit of a hometown advantage with Mariah May. So it's going to be a little bit of a bizarro world thing where Mariah to the crowd is a face and Tony is a heel just in this atmosphere alone. So that could have a big play on the outcome of the match as well. But I still think it's Mariah. Like, you have a turn, you got to culminate the turn in some way, shape, or form. Mariah is relatively new to the wrestling scene, not as experienced as Tony has been in the last, decade or so. So how do you get someone over? Beat somebody who's more established than you at a big event, and I think this is it. The Mercedes thing is also very interesting as well, Slack, because you have somebody who, from a contractual standpoint, and from contractual experience and just notoriety standpoint, is bigger than your potential world champion.
But that's a good thing.
It is a good thing if you spin it right. Well, yeah.
She has made the TBS championship actually mean something.
Correct. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting how they play it out, because if you give it to Mariah, there is also kind of potentially a comfort in, yes, she's the women's world champion, but she's not the biggest star in the division. So maybe that could help her kind of develop a little bit more, but we'll see with that.
I think her winning the belt is really going to be where, like, it's weird. I don't know how to exactly word it.
Yeah.
But I feel like her winning the belt is going to be the start of like the new generation of main event.
Yeah.
And I honestly, I know I'm obviously getting way ahead of myself again. But I honestly think that Julia Hart should be the one to win the belt after whoever wins this match, I
Totally
think
forgot
should
Julia
drop
Hart was
Julia
a
Hart.
thing. Totally forgot Julia Hart was a thing.
Because it's only because she's injured.
No,
But I
okay,
think
yes.
Julia Hart is still one of the best gimmicks in the AEW women's division, bar none.
Yeah.
So I think whoever wins this match, regardless of who it is, I think they should drop to Julia Hart because I feel like she would be ready to also be the next flag bearer of this division.
Yeah, we'll definitely see. It's going to be a very interesting match, and it could definitely steal the show.
Oh yeah, this is a sleeper hit
Yeah.
for sure.
Speaking of a match that this entire show was built around, Mercedes Moné putting the TBS Championship online. I still hate the fact that it's called TBS. Versus a returning Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, a match that many people had been wanting for a very, very long time, and we're finally going to get it. It's not for the world title, it's for the TBS Championship, like we've already established, isn't necessarily a bad thing for AEW Women's Division. Mercedes Moné has done a lot of work, a lot of positive work, especially from a social media perspective. She is frequently on there with the title on most of her posts. She's bringing in Camila Heavy. They did a segment at San Diego Comic-Con with Mercedes and Britt and Camille that got a lot of traction and a lot of buzz. Britt, on the other hand, returned and got a lot of negative buzz. Apparently, Bryan Danielson suspended her for something going on with MJF, which is a very totally weird and different thing.
Bullshit.
Yeah, I personally, yes, I agree with you, Slack. In that,
Your girlfriend's there. Stay the fuck out of the women's dressing room.
it's also true. Yes, yeah,
Fair enough.
very, 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 very fair. But this is a marquee match for AEW All In, and with these two in the ring, I don't think you can have a bad match. They've told the story well enough. Now you just need to execute it in the ring. And I think they'll work very well together. Obviously, I'm wearing a Sasha Banks shirt. You know who I'm choosing. I was probably never going to pick Brick in particular. So I'm picking Mercedes because of course I am. My question is, who are you going with, Slack?
Okay, so before
Bring your mic closer, by the way, sir.
I was gonna pick it up. I always pick it up. Just I want to go back to my point that I made about why I picked Mariah May.
Mhm.
The reason why is because of Camille. I do think Monet wins this match, regardless of what I think actually is going to happen in this match. But I feel like what's going to happen is Britt's going to have Mercedes in like a really bad position. Maybe either she has the lock job locked in or she's about to, and Camille gets involved somehow, and Mercedes gets the upper hand, and it looks like Camille is gonna, be the reason that Mercedes wins, and that's when Jamie Hayter returns to even the odds.
Oh.
I think Jamie Hayter. I remember reading something about a week and a half ago that she's been cleared for a couple of weeks, but they're waiting, and I think this is when she returns.
It's a good idea.
Because this, I know it's weird to say it like this because it sounds like this is a weird reference to sort of make back to, but Jamie coming back on this pay-per-view, but Mercedes still winning, is sort of like when the Undertaker came back as Biker Taker.
Yeah.
You remember
Yes.
that? And but then the heel still won.
Yeah.
So I think that's what's gonna happen. Like they're gonna be like, "Oh, Jamie Hayter's back," but Mercedes still somehow wins it. I don't know how. I think maybe Jamie just like sort of takes out Camille, and then the Brits gonna be like, "Oh, Jamie's back," and then
The distraction,
and then
Mercedes capitalized
Yeah,
on
like
distraction,
the
yeah.
but it's not gonna lead to like Britt turning on Jamie or anything because I feel like that's coming.
Yeah.
Still, but also I had this thought because you mentioned the fact that you don't like the fact that it's called the TBS title.
I never liked titles named after television networks.
So
Yeah, it's dumb.
So, what if after Mercedes most likely retains the belt on Sunday, she renames it to the CEO Championship?
I've seen worse things in AEW.
I don't think it's a bad. I don't think it's a great idea. Don't get me wrong. I don't think it's a good idea.
But like
But-
CEO of what?
No, that's just her. She's just the CEO.
It's like
of
when
the women's
MJF
division.
renamed the international title the American Championship.
Yeah, sort of like that.
Oh, yeah, thank God.
Oh my God, that's the
like
next
that.
match
So,
we're
like-
doing, by the way.
Oh, I got so
American
many
males.
thoughts. Oh, so
American
many thoughts about that
males.
match.
I mean, the CEO championship. I would love to see the design because AEO. I'm not AEO. Sorry, AEW titles are hit and miss. They're hit and
for
miss. Like sometimes they do it really well.
They are
Sometimes
hit
they're like,
and miss.
oh, maybe not.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. When they don't know whether like Atlantic is.
yeah, with the Japanese flag on. It's one of the worst things I've ever seen in wrestling from a professional wrestling company who didn't review this belt. Seriously. But taking like rebranding into CEO Championship is a heel thing to do. I mean, Daniel Bryan renamed. Well, he didn't rename the W Championship. He made it biodegradable.
God, I hated
It was
that
so bad.
much.
It was so
It was
bad.
the worst.
It was so great for the gimmick, but it looked like
It was such a dick move. I would be okay. Like I just want them to get away from naming titles after networks. Like the TNT Championship is dead in the water to me because they're not even on TNT anymore.
But it could mean
But even
Dynamite.
TNT was like, oh, I'm not.
Go to TBS. Go to TBS.
I get it.
But
You
TNT
like
is
me.
another way of saying Dynamite. So like it kind of works.
I
In a weird way, it works.
Yeah. But see, but
In a
here's the
forced,
thing,
in a
Slash.
really forced, they
No,
totally
shut
meant
up,
it to be
Slash.
this
Here's
way.
the thing. The logo is the TV station's logo, not explosive dynamite from Looney Tunes
With Acme
logo.
on it.
Yeah,
So
but
it's
now the
not
belt's
Dynamite.
emo because Jack Perry's just so cool.
Oh my God, I watched that video too. I'm
Fucking
not proud of
hate guy.
not
Jesus
proud of
Christ,
watching
Jack
that video,
Perry.
but I watched it. Be it as it may. So we're saying Mercedes winning.
I'm also picking
Yeah.
Mercedes for the record. Yeah.
Oh, it's just
can't she
phase
book
across
her
the
own
board.
shit? Oh, and didn't Britt like get in trouble back?
That's what we were-
weeks ago. Oh, I
That's what
wonder
we were
who's
talking
gonna-
about.
I wonder who's gonna
She-
win.
No,
Yeah, I
She got
wonder
in
who's gonna
trouble, and
win.
then Brian Danielson, who's like the committee person, or he's taken wrestlers court.
Undertaker.
Yeah, he suspended Britt Baker. He sided with MJF. Go figure.
I can't imagine being like. I can't imagine Brian Danielson does not strike me as the kind of guy to be like disciplining people. He'd be like, "Hey, don't do it again."
No, I
please."
think Brian Danielson's kind of a dick in real life.
No, Daniel Bryan would be a bitch. Brian Danielson would kick your fucking.
Oh, he's
head in.
gonna be a dick in the AEW locker room. He's like, you guys ain't shit. I main event WrestleMania, bitch. Fuck you mean? Twice.
kind
Kind
of,
of.
yeah.
Jericho's like, "What about me?" It's like, "Shut up, Chris."
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Okay.
Chris, you're the plaintiff. You don't
Let's
really have
talk- let's talk-
power.
You were the third most important man in a two-man
The bailiff.
in a two-man rivalry.
That's also true. Stephanie was more important to that than he was.
Exactly.
Stephanie was more important to that storyline than Jericho was.
They put the Triple H versus Stephanie McMahon feud, but had to work Chris Jericho into it somehow, even though he was undisputed fucking
That's
champion.
also very true. But yeah, so here's what I know. Here's what I've gathered about the Britt Baker thing. So a couple like a month or so ago, MJF and Ospreay battled for the International Championship when it was called the International Championship at the time on Dynamite for a fucking hour. Okay, and okay.
With no commercial break, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
And apparently Britt
Picture in
yeah,
picture.
picture in picture.
Oh, fuck that. I hate picture.
It was a novel concept at the time.
Listen to this Papa John's ad where Will Ospreay kicks MJF's
Yeah.
head in.
Dude, it wasn't a terrible
wasn't.
idea. Don't get me wrong. It really wasn't. In fact, it was really smart. But I just rather, honestly, I'd rather just fucking watch the commercial at that point.
For real.
Because you're giving me the audio of the commercial.
Yeah,
and it's just
exactly.
like, which I understand because you
Yeah.
have to.
My
but it's
favorite,
just like-
just sorry, small tangent. My favorite picture in picture in AEW history is oh fuck, I can't remember who's the guy that I think who's like the main dude that does like the death matches now, like Nick Gage or
Nick
something,
Gage,
or like
yeah,
Nick Cage.
yeah, him versus Jericho in their death match, picture in picture. I will never forget. I will never forget this as long as I
That's
live. I will never
amazing.
forget this as long as I live.
Dude, advertisers got mad about that too. They were like, "What the
During
fuck
a
are
Papa
you doing?"
John's ad for their new dip and sticks,
Dip
Nick
and
Gage
sticks
takes
during
a
the tag
full-on
match.
unprotected chair shot to the fucking head while Papa John's is telling me about his new dip and sticks. It is the greatest moment in AEW history. I don't care what anybody says.
My
It's the
God.
greatest moment in AEW history.
See, that's
And then we come back from picture in picture to Nick Gage using a pizza cutter on Chris Jericho's forehead. It's perfect.
That's right. I
Okay, someone had
remember
a
that.
sense of humor backstage then. So-
Like, good, get the
AEW is
pizza
such a
cutter.
fucking diamond. Oh man,
I'm not gonna lie. That's
Oh,
just
man.
good. That's just good long-term storytelling. Paul Heyman would be like, "See, everything
matters. Everything
means
means
something."
something. Yes.
Because I completely forgot about that until I brought up picture in picture.
Yeah.
Oh.
So again, apparently Britt Baker, someone correct me if I'm wrong, Britt Baker commented about, why did they go for an hour on TV when you're going to have more spots for the women? Alicia Atout,
Oh, shit.
who's MJF's girlfriend,
Tiff McGee.
yeah, and historically a problem in other indie locker rooms, decided to
Really?
go tell MJF this after the match.
Yep.
And MJF apparently got upset, confronted Britt about it by walking into the women's locker room. And I don't know, nothing was said, but apparently MJF at some point punched a wall. And according to the wrestler court that is Bryan Danielson, Britt Baker got suspended for this.
A fucking joke, man. This is a fucking joke. In any other job, legitimately, in any other job with, I almost said a different word, but like with separated dressing rooms, at any other job, you do what MJF did, you don't fucking have that job. Like that's just something you don't do, regardless. You don't walk into the women's changing area at all. I get what he's getting at, but you like either wait in the fucking hallway or you fucking like mess. Like, there's no way he doesn't have her number. You make a fucking phone call. You don't barge into the fucking
Or maybe
dressing
realize
room.
that your girlfriend's really fucking messy, MJF.
Like, for real, like legit, like, and I legitimately, I'm dead serious when I say this. If MJF wasn't MJF, if this was like Lee Moriarty, he doesn't have a fucking job anymore.
It was
just got-
who was the
he just
little
does-
kid in Junglesaurus? What was his name? The tiny guy.
Michael Stone. Yeah,
Like,
Michael
imagine if
Stone.
he busts into the women's locker room.
I'm mad.
He just burst in like Donnie from Wild Thornberrys.
Making noises.
But, like for real, like legit.
Yeah,
you
he'd
don't
be
have,
fired. Yeah, he'd be fucking fired
Yeah.
immediately.
like, I don't know. I feel like this whole thing.
If it was
It was
Blade.
the blade.
God damn it. Like the only person who could get away with it would be -1. It's like,
Yeah, -1. What are you doing here, little
Ah.
fella? Oh my god! But yeah, that's the thing. But yeah, Mercedes even used Britt's getting suspended in a promo online.
Anthony Bowen's probably be allowed to get away with it too.
Probably.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so Britt, I guess you were in hot water for
For
no
making-
reason.
for making
so
a-
sorry.
for making a valid criticism.
How dare you stand up for your entire division, you bitch?
Honestly, it doesn't matter if her criticism was valid or not. Like, it just doesn't matter. At that
Criticism
point,
is
it's
absolutely
irrelevant.
valid. Again, Lee Moriarty wouldn't be allowed to go an hour. Like he wouldn't have a job anymore.
I don't know how you keep anybody's attention span in an hour-long television match
Oh, but MJF
with
figured out a way
picture in
somehow.
picture. They gave him an oxygen mask
yeah.
after the fucking match
No
too.
dip
It was
and sticks.
ridiculous. Anywho, speaking of somebody who's totally on his xenophobic heel run, MJF is battling Will Ospreay for what is now called the AEW American Championship, with one of the most missed titles of all of the AEW titles in terms of design. So let's go through this lineage again. We did this a couple weeks ago. Let's go through the lineage again of the same exact title. Okay. It first started as the AEW All Atlantic Championship. Okay. All Atlantic with the Japanese flag on it. Okay. Okay.
All Atlanta Pacific.
Yeah.
Puh.
Okay. They then decided, after much backlash and people telling them how fucking stupid they were, that they are going to change this to the International Championship because apparently Intercontinental.
the
Because
intercontinental
Intercontinental
title.
was taken. So they.
Dude, I missed the intercontinental title. They should have kept that one.
The European
Yeah.
Championship.
So they named it the International Championship, and then later on developed the Continental Championship, which is an amalgamation of 3 different titles. Whatever.
Oh yeah, that one was the intercontinental
Yeah.
champion. Honestly, dude, if they called it the intercontinental champion, the internet
I
would love it.
I'm not gonna
'Cause
lie.
it's so. Honestly, it's something I would do if I owned a wrestling company. Yeah, dude, it's the fucking intercontinental title. Orange Cassidy wears it. Who gives a fuck? Orange Cassidy and Broken Matt Hardy just go back and forth every 6
Yeah.
months.
So this is something that has been done before. MJF just changed it after beating Will Ospreay in a 1-hour match on Dynamite, calling it the All American Championship, and now he's pretty much he's like 95 Lex Luger. I'm surprised he's not riding in the Lex Express at this point. He's showing up at all these indie shows. He has a giant American flag that drops down from the rafters whenever he.
Is he a heel?
I guess. He's the heel in this, yes, and Ospreay is supposed to be the sympathetic person. Ironically, Will Ospreay did the same exact thing in New Japan.
Isn't it great? We have a pro America heel. You don't see that. You see the foreign heel, not the American heel.
Yeah, you know what I mean? We also had the pro American heel in WWE, which is American made. With that as well. But Will Ospreay did the same thing in New Japan when he named the US title the UK title. Yes, it was New Japan Pro Wrestling US title.
He did when he beat
He-
after he beat Omega
Yeah.
for it at Forbidden Door, he held it and then changed it. And the design for that belt was beautiful.
Oh, the
by
Union
way.
Jack in the middle was nice. Yes. Oh,
Oh, so it was
Yeah.
so tight, so tight.
yeah, yeah. So
Bring that
this
shit
is
back.
this is kind of poetic justice that he's getting mad that MJF is doing the same thing that he did to somebody else. But this is the feud. This is the feud. The other interesting thing about this feud.
I'm about it.
Other interesting thing about this feud is that for a long time, for the last couple of weeks and or months, Will Ospreay has refused to hit the Tiger Driver 91 on anybody. He's kind of
93.
What was that, Slag?
93.
Was it 93? I thought it was 91. Sorry.
Tiger Driver
93.
93.
Yeah, it's
Sorry.
one of the 90s Tiger Driver.
Ospreay's
Yeah, I
back
get it. It's one of he won't hit it for some reason. He's got this whole crisis of faith saying no one should ever be hit with that
Because
move.
it's a neck breaker.
Whatever. It's wrestling.
Fuck your neck world tour.
Okay. Owen Hart. Not Owen Hart. Stone Cold took a pile driver and he was fine after a couple of months.
I mean,
Yeah. He-
I thought it was more fucked up that
Mine's
Owen
the
had
whole
a- Owen had a
compressed
shirt
neck
that
thing
said,
and the
"I'm went through
paralyzation, but
16. I just broke your neck." I thought that was
Yeah,
I thought that was a little overboard.
Yeah.
So ridiculous.
But yeah, his neck was
yeah,
fine
eventually he
eventually.
made it, you know. Still have hope for Big E at some point.
He's still
Yeah,
walking.
exactly.
I mean, honestly, though, I get it because a tombstone or a power driver has a hint of danger
Yeah.
to it,
So
right? And
Yeah.
it's not something that says like, I'm glad they're not taking power drivers anymore. Personally,
well, in
like,
WWE, in
it's kinda
AEW, they
fucked
take
up.
power
I
drivers.
know, anywhere.
He's
Well, I guess
gonna-
yeah, the indies.
No,
still do,
AEW
but-
still does pile drivers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I didn't think getting rid of the power driver was a terrible
Neither did
idea.
I.
Then again, I don't think using the power driver is a terrible idea either if you can do it
Yeah.
right. But it has like that is part of wrestling lore now that the power driver is like a no move because it's dangerous. So the
That's
fact that he
the
wants to
Undertaker.
avoid it works into a story. Yeah, it's just the Undertaker. So I think it works.
Yeah.
I remember seeing Ospreay drop Omega with the Tiger Driver at Forbidden Door, and generally thinking that Omega was like not getting up. Like it was like the first time where I was like, oh wow, this just got really real, really fucking quick. But with this, God man, I need Will Ospreay to just decapitate MJF. just with like the nastiest hidden blade of all time. Just take his stupid head off, please. Like, and it's not even about like Osprey being my guy, which by the way, I actually have him hitting Omega with the Tiger Driver on a freaking
Nice.
t-shirt. It's awesome. It's a great t-shirt. But I just like this is the problem is that like I really feel like Osprey has to win it because I kind of want them to start a streak where he like All In is like Osprey's show.
Oh, you're trying to create a
Like,
you're trying to
it's
create
like-
a Mr. All In.
Yeah, I feel like AEW needs a Mr. Insert pay-per-view here
Yeah,
because that's a good gimmick.
it is.
To me, I've always enjoyed the idea of like okay, so when they did it with Charlotte, they did it wrong because she was just Mrs. Pay-per-view, which is stupid. But with like Shawn Michaels being Mr. WrestleMania and even to an extent Undertaker being Mr. WrestleMania because of the
Mhm.
streak, AEW needs that. And like right now, I feel like they don't really have someone that could do that because a lot of guys don't win consistently at shows. You know, I think Omega might be like I think he's like 1 and 2 at Full Gear
Yeah.
or something. Right? So with this,
Yeah,
I feel like
you
this
need the association. No, I see what you're saying for sure.
I feel like this would be a great way to get Osprey not only that big win again in his home city or his home country technically. That I think this could be a really good story of like if like next year you don't really reference it, like because they didn't really reference the Undertaker having a WrestleMania streak until Randy Orton,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
But up to that point, he was already I think he was 13 or 0 or 12 and 0 going into the Mania match with
something like
Orton.
that. Yeah,
So with Osprey, you could have him win this one, win next year again, and then make it a point of mention, being like, Will Osprey just is unbeatable at All In. Like he has beaten the best of the best this company has to offer at this pay-per-view. And I think that angle should start on Sunday. But the problem is that the fact that MJF didn't get disciplined for what he did in the Britt Baker incident makes me nervous that he's going to win this match.
it's a high possibility. MJF has been an amazing organic draw for them.
Because I don't know where MJF goes if he doesn't win this match. That's the issue. Is that I feel like Osprey is insertable anywhere because he's just Will Osprey. But and I don't want to get off into a tangent. I'm going to keep this brief. The MJF since he has come back, I'm so over it. Because the heel turn was so unfreaking necessary. It is unbelievable. Like what is so funny is that again, last time I was here, I said that MJF had no chance of being a heel for a while. Because to me it didn't make sense. You didn't need him to be heel. You have enough top heels to be the top heel. But because he's MJF, he has to be that, that douchebag heel. And like I understand it, but I think it was just pointless. And to then have Osprey drop the belt to him immediately, and now for MJF probably I would say to drop the belt back to Osprey, I think the value of this championship has gone down.
With that when you
and
change it
not to
for the
say-
third
not-
time, its name.
Not to say that the value was there to begin with, because the multiple name changes does not help the value of a championship.
Yeah,
But I don't know. Like I feel like MJF could have been done so much. I feel like you could have had a huge, great storyline with MJF as world champion, and like regardless of like, I feel as good as the Adam Cole story was, I feel like that was just like. As soon as Adam Cole got injured, I feel like they should have just wrapped it up immediately because it killed MJF's entire momentum, I think, after he dropped that belt to Joe to then get the Cole story going and then only for them to both be injured.
I feel that this is giving MJF something to do because Adam Cole got injured. And, yeah,
Again.
that's why MJF has this title, I think, because
And it's to
Cole
the
got injured
detriment of the
again.
guys
Yeah.
around him and the
Yeah.
belt.
So, and it's ironic because this championship, whatever it's the All Atlantic, the International, or the American Champion, from what I've gathered, this is supposed to be your Intercontinental Championship of your company. This is your next in line, your second in command, champion.
Let's be honest. I think they hold the TNT championship in higher regard than they do
I
with
thought
this
so
thing.
for a second, and then they did this, and then you put it on, MJF and Osprey, and you're going hot potato with it. But I think this is going to be really weird for me to say because I usually Long Islanders stick together. But once it went to the American title, I was like, just give it to Osprey and let's get done with this American title thing. I think this is a short-lived thing for MJF with the
Yeah.
American Championship. Could it drag out more? Potentially, but this is made for MJF literally being a foreign heel in a foreign country, losing to the hometown person.
What they're doing with MJF, Fred's referenced in the comments. He said it's very similar to the Kevin Owens Face of America when he won the U.S.
But
Championship,
Kevin Owens
but he was only
so
the Face of
good.
America for like. He was like the Face of America for like a month.
Face of America Owens was
And then-
fantastic.
And he just dropped the belt. So, I think Osprey hits the Hidden Blade, Tiger Driver 93, finally hits it again. 1, 2, 3. Big win for him in England.
Don't be surprised if Adam Cole shows up. Will, who do you have with this one?
Oh,
I think MJF wins, man. He's the golden goose. New gimmick, new title. There's no
New
point
jacket.
new jacket. There's no point in having him lose it.
But
Also,
it's AEW.
what the hell is Triller TV?
It's one of the things that it's one of
the
the streamers, one of
is
the
it?
more popular streamers. It's really hard to sometimes find
When Roku just
exactly.
won't do.
It's really hard sometimes to find AEW match cards because they don't publish them themselves. You got to like search through like their social media or other people's social medias, and so I had to find one for
Fight TV.
or Fight TV. Yeah, sometimes look at Fight, sometimes look at Triller. This is the one I found for
Crash
Triller.
streams.
So, so it's AEW has really bad with making their graphics accessible to people to like use, like really bad.
They don't even promote it when you watch the buy-in shows for that. They don't really promote like where to buy it.
Yeah,
There's like buy it.
buy it
Where?
now.
We know. Find it.
You're smart, right?
Our buy rates are down. What's going on, Tony?
I can't wait till the end of this show. All right, so speaking of buy rates,
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
go with MJF. You know why? Because Zeb Coulter comes out.
he redoes "We the People."
Oh, no.
Yeah, he's like, "How does it feel, Britain? All the illegals sneaking over your river." That
What a wild gimmick that was for such a long time.
was fucking crazy, dude.
Oh my god, he had Swagger and Cesaro doing it, and Cesaro's literally from another country.
Yeah, this giant overweight dude with a crazy mustache
Oh,
talking about illegals
fucking
hopping the
Dutch
U.S. border
Mantel.
on television.
And what's so
It is
and what's
fucking
so funny
little
about the
fucking
gimmick-
motorized scooter.
What's so funny about that gimmick too is that when Swagger and when Jake Hager came to AEW and they had that promo with the Inner Circle and people were chanting "We the People,"
It works.
and Jericho's like,
it's a weird
he's
gimmick.
like, "We the People" was a bad idea for bad creative and it's dead and buried. It's like, Jericho, you do realize that was the only
Only
time
time he was
only
over.
time he liked
ever
him.
been
Only time he was
in his
over.
entire
It was-
career.
It is the one and only time that Jack Swagger was ever liked by anybody.
It's like, oh, he had like the have you? I'm not gonna get off into the tangent, but have you seen that promo that he did? The "You Don't Know Jack" promo.
I don't want to. It sounds really bad.
Oh my god, he tries to get like the cheap pop where he talks about like having a hot wife and like nobody fucking cares. He's just like, I got a stone cold fox of a wife, woo, and it's just like and nobody and with the
Yeah,
list.
it's just like,
The
yeah,
only
shit.
person that can get away with
And-
having
and-
a Stone
and
Cold
with
Fox of a
the
wife in
list.
wrestling is
Oh.
Carl Anderson.
Oh yeah, his hot
Everybody
Asian
knows there's a
wife.
hot Asian wife. These people don't have a hot Asian wife because Darby Allin apparently is abusive. We have a coffin match.
Oh fuck.
We have a coffin match for the TNT Championship. You know that title. With Jack
Yeah.
Perry, the guy who got choked out last year at All In. Hopefully, he doesn't choke
Right.
up in the middle of the ring as he goes up against Darby Allin in AEW's rendition of a casket match. They're calling it a coffin match because Darby Allin does a coffin drop. You get it. You get it. We all get it here. Jack Perry literally put somebody in a body bag on Collision last week. Yeah. He then took the TNT Championship. He's rebranded it. He's made it all black and emo and literally splattered red paint across it because it was so artsy. so
hardcore.
hardcore, bro. Going against Darby Allin, who literally has a death wish. Like, didn't Darby Allin
Strong
get like?
performance,
Didn't
man.
Darby Allin get like hit by a bus a couple of months ago? Like, legitimately hit by a bus.
Imagine being Darby Allin, where you've been hit by a bus, and yet it's still not the worst thing to happen in your year because you had to wrestle Jack Perry and put him over.
Yeah,
Like,
he is literally like a emo bad luck Brian is Darby Allin at this point.
oh, for real. Like, I love Darby Allin. I think I don't like the fact that like that he has a gimmick match and it's like the coffin match. It's like this is I don't like this. I think it's stupid.
Darby Allin just has 1,000 ways to die with this.
The problem is that like Darby's never lost a coffin match, but they also want to make Jack Perry matter, and it's just not going to happen. And it really sucks for Darby that he went from wanting to climb Mount Everest to getting hit by a fucking bus, and now putting Jack Perry over in his own gimmick match.
Here's how I see this
Because
match ending.
as much as it bugs me to say, Jack Perry pretty much is guaranteed.
Jack
to
Perry's
win
gonna win
this
this match. Obviously, he's got to do something to avenge his horrible time last
Okay,
year.
you know what's gonna happen? Because we've talked about this.
What?
Darby Allin's gonna have Jack Perry done dead to rights. He's gonna open the casket, and Okada's gonna be in the casket. He's gonna go beach, and he's gonna throw a fireball at him.
That's how you get Okada in this. Here's how I think the ending's gonna
I
be.
guarantee it. I guarantee Okada's in that.
Here's how I think this match is going to end. At some point, and this is just me being a total dick, but I think it's going to be hysterical. Somehow they're going to leave ringside, and they're going to go backstage to Gorilla. See where I'm going here? And there's going to be no cameras in Gorilla. It's going to be grainy, like security cam footage. Okay, and
Oh my god! Oh my!
and it's
God.
going to
Yes,
look
please.
like it's the
Yes.
Punk Jack Perry footage.
Absolutely, yes.
But it's
Yes,
Jack Perry
absolutely.
choking out Darby Allin.
Darby Allin, yes.
And
Absolutely.
then the Jack Perry's going to
absolutely.
bring him back to the ring choked out and put him in the coffin, and the match is over.
That's fantastic. That's
Like,
fantastic.
you already showed the footage, you might as well lean into it all the way a year later. Screw it at this point. Be it as it
Oh,
may,
that's so good.
Jack Perry wins this hands down because
So good.
Darby Allin, I hate to say it, Darby Allin's nothing without Sting. Really is. Will Tarashok.
I don't know, I'm a fan of Darby, but yeah, fuck it. Look at Jack Perry. Look at that beard. He means
He
it.
does.
He
He
means
has. It
business
is a
this
good
time.
beard. It is a like he
really does look like the
he
skateboard.
does look like a broken man. Like Punk choked him out, and like his career is ruined after that.
After Christian stopped insulting his dead dad, Jack Perry's career went really down the toilet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like Jack Perry though. I like.
By the
both,
way,
I
when
still
we
like
get
both
to
of these
Christian's
guys.
match, I'm gonna. Oh, I love Christian Cage in AEW, man.
Goodness fucking
So-
gracious. Anywho, oh yeah, guess what, folks? It's another title match. The
Okay, well, it's
yeah,
a
right.
match.
It is the FTW Championship, as Jericho calls it, the For the World Championship by learning to Chris Jericho, the reigning FTW champion going up against Hook. And Will, I will tell you something right now. I've got to personally tell you this one. So I was watching some video footage for this match. Okay. And Hook fell curse to Jericho taking out one of his eyes. Tell me where you've seen that gimmick before, John Moxley.
Yeah.
So Hook comes out on like Collision or something, and Shivani's in the ring, and they're going to do an in-ring interview. And Shivani goes, Hook, well, I gotta know, how's your eye? Hook goes, can't you tell, Tony? I can't see. That's how the promo
Good-
started. I go, goodness gracious.
Good one, Hook.
Yeah, I was like, fuck it, give it to Chris Jericho. That is my logic for this, because I, like, my God, no.
Can't you see? I can't see.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, Hook, I don't have your eyes, so you're a fucking moron.
Yeah. Yeah, I am done with Hook. I was like, wow, there's a reason you weren't speaking when you first got there, and I understand why now. Yeah, give it to fucking Jericho at this point. I don't want Jericho to keep having a title, but give it to
Why
Jericho.
is the what's his the
The learning tree.
The
The
learning
tree.
tree.
Yeah.
Hi guys.
The
Yeah.
What the fuck does that mean?
He's the learning tree. He's the people. He's the tree.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is. That's
Stop it.
that's his gimmick. He is the learning tree. He's the person that you go and learn under, and your career
Even
becomes
though
that
he's
much
the
better.
shortest man in his
Yo,
own faction.
That's
I
true.
know he never wants to do the same gimmick twice. He needs to constantly evolve. But hey, man,
Stop.
sometimes you just gotta play the hits,
Exactly.
especially when you're almost 60.
do you
I
know
don't even
who's
think
on?
I don't
Go
even
ahead.
think Judas is the entrance theme anymore, right?
It's not. It's not. It's like I am the learning tree, and then like a giant tree goes on the screen, and then like it's whatever generic music he has. You know who's under his
And
learning
he
tree
starts
now?
every single promo, whether it's backstage or in the ring, starts with "Hi guys,"
Yes.
and guess what? And guess what? It's on a fucking t-shirt.
Yes, it is. Yeah. You know who's under his learning tree now, Will? The guy formerly known as Big Cass and is now known as Big Bill. He's under his learning tree.
I did know that. I did know Big Bill
And,
from
like,
his learning tree.
Toby Keith or like whatever his name is there, like
He
is
does look
the
like a
other
black
guy.
Toby Keith. Oh, yeah, I don't forgot what his name is.
It's something Keith. It's like Damon
Brian
Keith or
Keith.
something.
Brian Keith.
Sure.
Brian Keith. What a name.
You picked
Oh,
him
yeah.
to win a match, I think, one time.
Watch out. for Keith.
Probably. But yeah, I agree with you, Rick. Chris Jericho's winning this.
yeah. The quicker we get over this match, the better, and that's exactly what we're going to do. Because now,
Who's gonna win?
whatever. Because now we're going to have a triple threat for the AEW Tag Team Championships. Yes, another title match. Tell me where you've heard this before. FTR
There's more.
versus the Young Bucks, who are the current
Oh.
tag team champions, versus the Acclaimed.
Oh, everyone
The
hates
Acclaimed.
now.
Yes, the Acclaimed, who have never got. I think the Acclaimed have never actually gotten a shot at the tag titles. Correct me if I'm wrong.
They have been champions.
They have been. No, they haven't got a shot at the Young Bucks, I believe. It's one of those. It's
No, they took the
They took it from the
tag belts
Bucks?
to Swerve in Our Glory.
okay. I'm still going with the Acclaimed in this one. This
Really?
Here's the thing. The legend.
Wow.
There's a legendary rivalry between FTR and the Young Bucks. It's been going on for a while.
Exactly, which is why the Acclaimed eat the pin.
I think that's why the Acclaimed actually win.
That's a little too obvious. Like,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think that there's an outlier here. And I think the two teams who have always been rivalry with each other will somehow screw the other one over, and the Acclaim will take advantage.
See, the thing is like, and Will did say it's too easy, but sometimes predictable is predictable for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it is like the right thing to do, because I don't. If anyone can like fact check this, I don't know how long the Bucks have been champion.
Long.
I think they've been. It's not. Yeah, it hasn't been long. So I don't think Tony Khan is crazy enough to hot potato 2 championships. So I feel like the Bucks do retain this by pinning the Acclaimed, but they do it because FTR set it up. So like the FTR is going to hit the big rig on the Acclaimed, and then like double super kick, and then the Bucks take advantage and pin the Acclaimed, and that's how you keep that rivalry going and still keep the belts as part of it, because they are 1-for-1 against each other when it comes to the belts. So keeping the belts as part of that to get to that trilogy match, I think makes more sense than having the Acclaim go over.
I could also.
Ricky, there's a card to sell out 2 weeks from now.
Yes, back in Chicago, go figure.
Exactly.
So I'm gonna go with the Bucks. I'm gonna go with the Bucks. They retain shenanigans somehow.
That's shenanigans galore in this match.
I like the Acclaimed. I mean, I like all 3 of these teams. All 3 of these teams are really, really good.
I'm kind of over the Acclaim, if I'm honest.
That's fair.
It's not. I don't have anything against them. It's just like the gimmick has gotten to a point where it's just like. It's funny to say, but it's been 5 years of the same freaking gimmick, and like it hit its peak, and I felt like there was a moment where they were going to have the Acclaim break up, and Caster was going to go out on his own, but I feel like by the end of the year the Acclaimed aren't a team. I don't know why, but something tells me tells me that Caster's going to
who's
turn
the
on
tall
Bowen.
cat? Who's the Caster? He's the tall one.
Yeah, he's the rapper.
Yeah, he's the better one.
He's most likely, I think, going to turn on Bowens at some point. Whether it could happen at All In, I doubt it is. But I don't think the year ends with the Acclaimed as a tag team, personally.
We'll definitely see about that. So, moving on from that, we have a couple more matches on this card. And this one is so cleverly known as a London ladder match. Wow, guys.
Ooh, that's cute.
Yes.
That's
London
cute.
Yes. A London ladder match for the
That's too many
AEW
people.
Trios Championship. This has all the makings of what can go wrong will go wrong in this match due to the amount of people trying to climb a goddamn ladder for three belts.
Wait,
Okay.
there's
Oh, yeah.
4 teams, so it's gonna be 12 people in this match.
Yes.
Indeed.
Yes.
Where are they gonna put them?
I don't know.
Like,
The teams so far are Christian Cage and the Patriarchy versus the Bang Bang Gang, yes, versus a House of Black versus a mystery trios team that has not been announced as of yet.
They're doing a tournament, I believe, on Dynamite tomorrow night to determine who the last trio is.
Okay.
I
So
believe.
of the teams we know thus far, and just because I have nothing better to do, Christian Cage and the Patriarchy thing, it's kind of like, it's one of those things that's like cringe in
Oh,
real,
it's the best.
it's like cringe in real life, but wrestling gimmick, it works perfectly well, like Roman
it's
Reigns
so
Tribal
great.
Chief
I love
run.
it so much.
But I'm literally gonna go with the darkest of horses here and just do House of Black, because why the fuck not?
I think patriarchy is honestly one of the best things going in AEW. Like Christian's Titantron is so great. It's just like, it's like perseverance, courageous, dedicated, loving father. It's just like, oh my god, like it's so great.
I'm mad you still call it Titantron. That was cute.
What? Point is that Christian retains his trios championship and continues his run as just like the douchebag that carries all the belts. Like, I love the fact that he carries all 3 belts of the tree. It's so funny that he always carries the belt, even though he has never actually won the championship himself. It's so great.
That is very true. Well, who are you going with? You gonna go with the mystery opponent or?
yes.
I figured
exact-
you
yeah.
would.
Yeah, I am. Someone has to. There's always one, and I'm that one.
Poor Bang Bang Gang, man. No one picked them.
It's a great name.
It is.
Now. It's a bang bang name.
It is a bang bang name, almost as good as this. There's.
Overtime commission.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm surprised you just realized that.
Oh.
Although the Bang Banging does remind me of this new burrito shop in my town called Bang Bang Burritos, and they're fucking great. Final match on the card. That's not for a world title directly. It's the casino
God.
directly. It's the casino gauntlet where the winner of this match is guaranteed a world title shot. There have been a lot.
And you have to guess which one of the idol titles in this match card are the world title. It will give you a hint. It's not the American one.
Yeah, so there's been a couple of names attached to this. Nothing totally, truly confirmed yet. So this is kind of a toss-up. Who should win the gauntlet match if they are in it? I've heard Hangman Page attached to this, or potentially Orange Cassidy attached to this as well, because why the fuck not? So AEW correspondent Slack, who should win it? I feel like me and you are going to agree with this, but who should win the Casino Gauntlet title match?
I have 2 choices.
Okay.
I personally think that it should be Hangman Page because it just, to me, it makes the most sense because I assume that Swerve is going to retain the title. So my guess is that it could be and should be Hangman, but there's a little part of me that thinks like it's like this little nugget back
Hey,
here.
you are not a
that
nugget,
won't-
Slack. You are not a nugget.
No, there's a little nugget in the back of my brain
For you, Frets.
that will not let me not think this. But there's a part of me that thinks it could be Kenny Omega.
Oof.
And I don't know
Oof.
why. But there's something about this card that is, to me, I don't know why. It's been a gut feeling since they announced this match that, because to not announce any of the participants ahead of time is interesting. So I don't know if they're going to announce them all tomorrow night
Yeah.
or not, but I feel like they could actually do it. Like we weren't telling you who's in the match until we actually get to the pay-per-view. So I'll say most likely it's Hangman Page, but I feel like there's a small, tiny chance that it could be Kenny Omega.
Hangman Page is my choice. Like
Yeah.
seriously my choice, but you did kind of intrigue me on the possibility of Swerve and Kenny. Because that's a good litmus test for Swerve.
Or even Okada, because Okada
Okada.
isn't on the card.
That's true.
So like, I feel like the top three choices right now are probably for me Hangman, Okada, or Kenny.
My dark horse in this, just because it would be so ridiculous,
I feel like I know where you're going. with this.
it would be Joe Hendry.
Ah,
I thought you were gonna say Dan. Housen.
No, fuck Danhausen. Oh, no. Could you?
I actually thought about Joe Henry being in AEW a couple hours ago, and I was like, that'd be
If
fucking
Joe
stupid, though,
Hendry,
wouldn't
it would be WWE would never allow. If Joe Hendry showed
No,
up as a part of the Casino Gauntlet match,
Well, like big.
it
Dino.
would be one of the most ridiculous things ever, and he'd be literally an international sensation yet again. Joe Hendry.
Do you think it has to be like? Do you think they are going to announce the participants ahead of time, or do you think they're going to leave that as like a little surprise for the pay?
I always like the idea of naming some, but not all. Like when they,
like with the Royal Rumble.
well, yes, man, and also when they used to do the Casino Battle Royal, with the Joker card or the Wild card at the end was always a great
Wasn't it
surprise.
normally a ladder match? Like what's with the gauntlet match?
It's a gauntlet match, so like one person's going to start. You don't know. I would like. Them
No.
to-
I know what a gauntlet
Yeah.
match is. I'm just wondering why they changed it from the ladder match.
because they already have a ladder
That's
match.
true. They already have one. Yeah.
But yeah, 2 ladder matches.
So they have two different types of matches. Oh wait, what?
Yeah. Where are you going with the Slack?
No, sorry, I got thrown off. I forgot that there was a ladder match already on
Yeah.
this card. What I thought what Will was getting at was like they already had the match, like they already did the casino ladder match this year. I thought that's what he was getting.
No,
at.
No, they already have another ladder match on the card.
Okay,
There's only
because I
12
was like,
people
they
in
have
it.
two different match types where the winner gets the same fucking thing. Like that's fucking stupid, but so AEW.
At least it's not the Casino Battle Royale.
Oh god.
Yeah.
God.
Well, I did like the concept of Casino Battle Royale with the Joker and people come out in suits. They couldn't do Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Literally,
Yeah, I know.
It wasn't a terrible idea. It was just like
The space.
You run
or
run
something.
out of Jokers after a while once you've established your company. You know what I mean?
Not to mention that they kind of ruined the idea of a Joker card because they made MJF the Joker on his
That's
return.
also a thing as well. So you're confused on things, Slack. Were you talking about the upper like ladder match they have where they have to take that giant freaking like Sonic ring and it guarantees
exactly what
the
I was
world
talking about,
title?
yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because like I've always thought that I've always liked the idea of like Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank is my favorite gimmick there is.
tell
Like
Jeff
I
that.
love the
yeah.
I love the idea.
I love
of
Money in the Bank
just
too.
having just like the golden ticket
Mm-hmm.
to a world championship, unless your name is Damian Sandow or Baron Corbin.
That
But
Or
was
John
Baron
Cena.
Corbin's fault.
oh yeah, right. How dare you talk about concussions and how bad they are for people, you dick.
You can't talk to the guy
Um,
you can't challenge the guy during a lecture.
Oh,
It was a
please.
company sponsored lecture.
A lecture about why concussions aren't a big deal.
Yes, you can't antagonize the person that he was kind of in a class action
fucking
lawsuit against.
Stupid, Ricky. Man, it's stupid though.
What, the concussions are
Like,
stupid?
No, the fact that they had a freaking meeting about why concussions aren't that big of a deal, and then
It
Baron
was
Corbin
more
gets
like a
friggin'
company
doghoused.
seminar. It's like when you have to do training for a company. It's one of those things that you have to go through.
It's ridiculous to me. Anyway,
But wouldn't the teaching be how concussions are a big deal?
Yeah.
no, that was the problem. Is that's why Corbin got in trouble, because he said, like, he stood up against the guy that was giving the lecture and said that like concussions need to be a bigger deal. Like it's something that we need to deal with.
He
like it's not just like
antagonized the
was the how
speaker.
CTE and concussions go hand in hand, and they were like, oh, it doesn't. He's like, no, it fucking does.
Well, here's the
But-
thing. When
I mean, you shouldn't ignore.
Yeah, when
concussions. Come on.
Rusev / Miro is the voice of reason, I think you're in the wrong.
Anyway, point. I've always really liked the Money in the Bank concept, and I wish AEW the fucking giant poker chip is so
Forgot
stupid.
about the giant
Like-
poker chip.
Like just make it a briefcase. Like
You
they
can't make it a
WWE can't-
briefcase because I will shit on that concept all the time. It's like
Make it a
Oh,
tote bag.
or something.
Sorry,
like-
guys. I'm just imagining that creative meeting. Guys, what can we put above the ring? Well, King Ricky said that he doesn't want he will shit all over a briefcase.
I'm not
so
going
we
to be the
have make
only
a
one
big
to
casino
shit on a
chip.
briefcase when it's clearly stealing someone else's idea. Like the ring
Yes,
and the
but the
poker
idea
chip. The
of
ring and the
so-
poker
the
chip are
idea of
great
having,
ideas.
like, But the idea of having something hanging above like the ring to be a briefcase, they've done briefcases before Money in the Bank was a thing.
TNA did the briefcase too. Feast
Oh,
or Fired.
Feast or Fire, which by the way,
Which Feast or Fired? Awesome.
no, it's not. It's stupid.
Oh, here we go.
Because
Oh, fuck you.
no,
Fuck
because
you.
think about it. Think
You
about
take
it.
the risk. You
Be-
take the risk. Everyone gets a
Exactly.
briefcase, but
But
what do you get?
But like, why
that's
bother
deal or
win
no
the
deal.
why bother trying to win the match? if
Exactly.
there's a
Yeah,
chance
it's
you're
deal
gonna
or no
get
deal, the
fired.
wrestling match.
But if there's a chance I'm gonna get fired, I'm probably not gonna want to take down one of those cases. If there's
Yeah,
a chance I'm getting
see
fired.
Slack, and that's why you're not a wrestler. Because some people would literally risk it all for a title
They
shot.
fired EC3 for Christ's sake.
EC3 needed to
Yeah,
be fired.
That did happen. That did happen.
That was so dog ass.
You-
Anyway,
I'm not gonna lie, it is a really shitty way to actually get fired though. That's the actual
congratulations on
match.
winning the match.
I'd be pretty butthurt, not gonna lie. Like if it was
Match
storyline like when
was a
John
lot.
Cena got fired and he was literally on Raw the next week.
Oh my god, yeah. 'Cause I've always hated that where it's like someone gets banned. It's like, oh, I bought a ticket though. I could be here. It's like, oh, stop it, please.
I'd say, dude, next time I buy a ticket, I'm just gonna go shove it in front of
It's
someone's
the
face.
chicken. I got it. I
have a
got
ticket.
it.
I paid for this. I can be here.
They only had.
Like Cena got fired, yeah, but he bought a ticket. So
Well,
he's
here's the
technically
thing.
a fan.
Here's why their gimmick doesn't work anymore. They don't.
I
have
said they don't have
paper
paper tickets,
anymore.
yeah.
They're all on your phone. Like John Cena should just be
I
like,
still get paper.
bitch.
I still get paper tickets. There's no way.
we don't have paper tickets.
Yeah, we
anymore.
rarely do.
Yeah, we,
I
don't, we,
do.
don't have stubs. It's a bummer, dude. This country sucks.
Anyway, well, who's your pick for the Casino Gauntlet match? It could literally be anybody.
Oh, dude, Wardlow, all the way.
That's a good one, actually.
It's actually not.
It's not a terrible choice.
Fred says Pac, but I'm going Wardlow just for
What
no
if it's
reason.
Wardlow, but then like Adam Cole makes him give it to him when he's healthy?
It also could be Adam Cole. Who the fuck knows how he's doing?
Baby.
Yeah. It also could be Adam Cole. So
It's gonna be Bobby Fish.
please no. Please.
Where's the lie?
God, in that case, let it be.
Is it going to be Cool Kyle?
I was gonna go with Leo Rush.
That should be his entrance theme. It's just like, folks, where's the lie? And then there's no entrance music.
Folks.
Yes.
Man,
So anyway, folks,
More
that's it.
Bobby.
That's all we have for AEW All In. And since they're not going to tell you, I will. You can order AEW All In from Bleacher Report, your cable or satellite provider if you still have that thing. Apparently, Dave and Buster's just shows it, so show up to Dave and Buster's.
yeah, they do.
Triller
Nationwide.
TV, if Roku's not enough for you, YouTube, payperview.com, but why? And seriously. And DAZN,
You can call your local cable provider.
and DAZN or whatever, that thing that kind of shows the zone,
Zone.
yeah. The thing that kind of shows boxing here and there. So yeah. Or, just stream it like everybody else. We'll probably be doing who don't want us.
Just watch it the
Or
next
watch it
day.
the next
You
day.
guys,
Don't
are you
tell
guys
them I told
aware
you
of
that.
one of the pre-show matches though, and how insanely amazing it's going to
Yeah,
be?
but it's a pre-show match, so it doesn't count. Anywho.
But Chris Allen and Stokely against Tomohiro Ishii and Willow Knight.
The alien and the
So
black
great.
guy versus the black chick and the crazy, historically insane Japanese
Oh,
wrestler.
it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
That-
Stokely for the win.
Probably Stokely can't wrestle worth a damn, but he's funny as hell. Stokely can't. Stokely also has a great Twitter game. But anywho, folks, that is all we have for AEW All In. Like I said, the big matches seem like a big match, and I think it's going to be good enough for them to carry the card and make it be memorable for the most part. The bottom half is kind of you're throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks. With that being said, it is going to be on 1 p.m. on a Sunday on the East Coast, which is going to be it's a great time for wrestling that no one's actually going to be able to watch because they still don't have their own network to do this on. Be that as it may, I have some pretty good expectations for this, but knowing AEW, something funky might happen. So I'm going to go a safe 7.5. I think this is going to be 7.5 crowns out of 10. Will Tarasuk, what are you going with?
God damn, I forgot we do this for
Yeah.
AEW. 7. I'll give it the old right in the middle 7.
Yeah, that's sound. It's a safe bet.
Average.
It's the safe bet.
Yeah, it's a safe bet. That's what I meant. I'm going with the
safe.
Lucky number. Lucky
Yeah,
number 7.
AEW correspondent Slack. How do you think this is going to be from your insider's perspective?
I have a feeling that the undercard is going to underperform.
Hence why we're the
But
undercard.
but you, my point is that like the matches should be better than they're gonna be because like there is a lot of talent in the undercard, but I feel like they're gonna underperform. But I feel like the high points are gonna be very high points, so I'm going to have to agree with Will and say a 7 simply because I don't think I got a feeling like at least four matches on this card are not going to be meeting the expectations that they're supposed to.
Oh yeah, that ladder match is going to be an absolute disaster. I can feel it in my bones.
I honestly would say the ladder match, the gauntlet match, the triple threat tag team match, and I don't like saying this, but I honestly have a weird feeling that Mariah May, Tony Storm might underperform a bit.
It's also highly possible. It depends on where they're placed in the card too. It's going to have a big
Yeah,
deal. And on AEW's their match
that
placement.
could open the card. I can honestly see that opening the card.
Yeah, I mean if they book it correctly. And I'm not sold yet on match placement with AEW. Not yet.
They're
Not
weird
yet.
with
A
that.
couple of bonus questions before we end out the show. More so for me and Will and Kay whenever they give us their guesses. Here's a big question I have. So AEW reportedly did 81,000 or so people last year at Wembley. Is the crowd bigger or smaller than last year?
Oh, that's a great question.
I have seen a seat set up. They are using a bigger stage, which is blocking out a lot more of the stadium. So they're going with like more of a traditional like WWE mega stage for Mania.
Yeah.
So it kind of blocks out everything behind it for the most part.
I think they could honestly. I feel like it's gonna be, regardless of which side it falls on, whether it's more or less. I feel like it's not gonna be by much. Like I feel like it's gonna be only by like a few thousand. So like if they beat what they did last time, which was 81,000, I feel like they're probably gonna do like 84,000 or like 78,000. Like I don't feel like it's gonna be that big of a gap or like that big of a difference.
they're gonna do
'Cause I feel
wrestler
like
math.
the interest in the
and-
product from last year to now has dwindled a bit.
Mhm.
But the UK fans are also just ravenous fiends, so they'll come out and show out for sure.
So yeah, it's gonna be bigger or smaller, Will?
It's gonna be bigger. They're gonna use wrestling math. And it's gonna be bigger.
Yeah,
They get
152,000.
How many people are in the
Yeah.
building?
yeah, it's gonna be very, very interesting because they're gonna have to load up those numbers for whenever WWE comes to Wembley because that is coming sooner rather than later. So there's that. Second question we have here, which is a classic AEW question I like to put in. How many matches? It's got to be how many people? How many matches are going? Not people. People bleeding is a wild question for AEW. But how many matches? How many matches will have blood? There is no plus or minus here. We're going for exact. We previewed 9 matches just to give you
4.
So what? There's a coffin
the
match.
coffin match.
There's a main event. There's
There's a ladder match.
4.
There's a ladder match. Yeah, I'll do 3.
I'm going with 3 as well.
I would say ladder match, coffin match, world title, and just because it makes sense for the story, women's world title.
Oh yeah, with those heels.
I think
The
Mariah
shoe.
May. I think Mariah May bleeds
Yeah.
and wins
Mox
and
is in
wins the
books,
belt
so he
and
takes
wins
the
the
number
belt
down to
and wins the
6.
belt covered in blood.
That is a great comment, Freds.
Thanks, Freds.
Mox doesn't book, so he takes the number down to 6. That's a good one. That's also a valid criticism.
Moxley's not on the card, but he'll figure
Dude,
out.
where's Mox? He's on the poster.
Moxley's not on the card, and he'll still figure out a way to blade.
Even a more important question in the final of our bonus questions. It's another notorious AEW question that we've never actually used for a bonus question. How long is this pay-per-view gonna be in hours?
Or
I think it goes from 1:00 till like 5:45.
I'm going 5 hours.
So 1 to 6.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is not we are not including the 2-hour like pre-show that they're gonna do. So
Well,
I'm talking about
Wembley
the actual
Wembley
start
has
time.
a strict cutoff time though. Wembley has a strict cutoff time of 10 p.m.
Is that so?
I believe my buddy told me about it. Hold on. I have the message here. He told me that they have a cutoff
I
time.
mean, the Brits are very precise with time. I'm not gonna lie.
well, if it's pay-per-view too, they have to be out at a certain time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he said 10, but yeah, Wembley has a hard curfew of 10 p.m.
Hard curfew of 10. So it's that one here, which means it's
They're 5 hours ahead of us.
yeah, which means it starts at 6 there.
It can't go more than 4
Huh.
unless Tony like swung a deal, but I doubt he did.
I bet you he did. I bet you he did. We'll see. I'm still gonna go with 5. I'm going wishful thinking here. Wishful thinking on that one.
I don't know if I can do more than 4.
I mean, listen, the Jaguars are in England and the UK at least once every like twice a year this time. Like this time. So he probably knows them pretty well. I bet you he can get it extended if he needed to. With that being said, folks, we're going to cut you some slack and actually end this goddamn podcast episode. We want to actually thank our correspondent, Slack, for actually helping us get through this wildly long card of AEW All In. Slack, any final words?
For the love of God, let this be a good pay-per-view. Because, like, company freaking need a win.
Honestly, I say that a lot with AEW cards a lot of the time.
Man, they need a win so freaking bad, man. Like, it's been so downhill since they showed the footage of the Punk Perry
I
thing.
remember that being such a... People were like, yeah.
And,
Yeah, they did do that, didn't they?
yeah, and it's just been downhill since. There's been some high moments, don't get me wrong, there's been some highs, but they need a win fucking bad, man.
Extremely
Like
bad.
so bad. So I hope for their sake this is a good pay-per-view, but it'd be really funny to also watch like the AEW purists try to make sense of a shit pay-per-view if it ends up being a shit pay-per-view. Because I always love that. Like I remember when the ring didn't explode properly during the barbed wire. I remember that, and I remember so many AEW fans being like, "No, it was done on purpose because Kenny's a heel."
That was
It's like no,
one of the
because if that
worst
was
finishes
true,
in the history of wrestling.
because if that was true, Kingston wouldn't have sold it, and the announcers wouldn't have sold it like they had all died.
Like died.
The absolute best dub I've ever seen of a wrestling is when they showed the exploding wire footage and somebody put Celine Dion's "My Heart Will Go On" to the
Yeah.
end of that.
With the recording,
With the recorder, the flute, yeah, or the
version.
piccolo, yeah. Oh
Yeah.
my
Oh.
god. Oh, brings a tear to my eye. Yeah, they.
Second funniest thing in AEW history besides the picture-in-picture.
It
fight
is
with
like
John
the like.
That was the
Like I
best.
can't wait till like I hate to say I can't wait because you don't want to wish people losing their jobs, but whenever the Fall of AEW documentary comes out, that's
Oh,
gonna be
God.
must see TV.
Oh, that's gonna be. So
It's gonna be like the Who Killed WCW, Who Killed AEW. Well, let's look at all of these problems that led up to this point.
Who killed the death of AEW?
Yeah. Oh my god.
Brian Alvarez, get right. And
Don't let Brian Alvarez write. He's a shitty writer. I've read one of his books. It's fucking horrible. He's really bad. Really, really bad. But be it as it may, well, let's get the fuck out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, you have been listening to Kings of the Rings podcast, episode number 386, cutting some slack. And I got to cut this guy some slack because Slack actually was a pleasure to have on the show this time because someone's got to get us through all of his AEW nonsense once every couple of months or maybe once every 3 weeks. That's what's going to happen when we have All Out. I've been your host, King Ricky Rose. You can find me on Ambassador Biggs across all social media outlets, BIGZ, Ambassador Biggs. Find Kings of the Rings podcast at KOTR_podcast across all social media outlets. Like, share, subscribe, leave us 5-star reviews. The links to all of that are in the description below. If you are listening to us, making sure you listen to us on Wrestle Addict Radio, the cure for the common wrestling podcast, and follow Wrestle Addict Radio socials at addict_wrestle on Twitter and at Wrestle Addict Radio, all one word. Somewhere else, links again to all of that are in the description below. Will Tarashak.
yes, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Will Tarashuk. T is Thomas Arashuk. Stick around for the post show where the Yankees are going to blow this game, and I'll
shit.
read you my fantasy football.
I do want to hear these
roster.
auto draft
Ricky,
results. I do want to hear these.
It's not great. Let me tell you that it's not great.
It's gonna be great. This is gonna be awesome. All right, folks. So when we come back next week, All In hopefully win All Out because they have to plan for All Out in a couple of weeks. We're gonna return to some WWE news because we have a bash in Berlin that we need to start talking about and planning for because guess what? That's fucking next week as well. So it's a wild, wild race to the finish of summer with wrestling, and we're gonna have it all for you for the next couple of weeks here on Kings of the Rings podcast. So until next week, folks, goodbye, good night. We'll see you soon. And you were a pleasure, Slack, but fuck you, Slack. Yeah. See you next week.
Midnight music.
I told you I had to put you on the post list, Slack. My bad. Whatever, you're still here. You will punch.
All right, so it's bases loaded, top of the 10th. One
Really?
out. Cleveland's up. Yeah,
Nice.
just 3-3.
Okay, not the worst.
All right, so let's
Let me hear
check
your
this team
fantasy
out.
draft right now.
Dude, I'm kind of mad because last week I had the last pick, and this year I had third pick, and last year's team was way better.
So you finished better last year. You finished better this year.
Oh yeah, yeah. So this year I had third pick. Last year I had like 14 pick. All right, so my quarterback is Brock Purdy.
That's
Great
actually a good start. That's a great pickup.
Big fan of Brock
Yes.
Purdy. My running back is Brees Hall.
It's not
For
the
Jets.
worst, but they're gonna pass a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's Aaron Rodgers, unless Aaron Rodgers gets hurt in the second quarter again. In the second quarter this time.
No, it was the first quarter.
First quarters. Yeah, it's like the first
First 4
drive.
plays, yeah.
Yeah, literally. Jonathan Brooks from the Panthers, but he's injured right now.
Mhm.
So he's not coming back till week 3 or 4. And I got Marvin Harrison Jr. Is he a rookie?
No one can hear me. Yeah, he's a rookie from
So-
Ohio State. He's going to be really good. I don't know if he's going to be good right now, but he's going to be an excellent receiver
Mike Evans, who is
on his last leg, but still serviceable.
Yep, he's hanging it. He's just hanging in
He's
there.
got Baker Mayfield.
Dalton
so.
Dalton Kincaid.
Dalton Kincaid's a
Buffalo.
good tight end. That's a good pickup for you.
He's a good tight
Yes,
end.
he's really good.
Malik Neighbors from the Giants. He's not gonna do shit.
Yeah, probably. Well, no, he's a rookie too, I believe. He's young.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's a rookie. Fucking drafted
He's
rookies.
neighbors he's from LSU, I believe.
Chargers defense
Change
and the
that.
Dallas kicker.
The Dallas kicker's going to get a lot of work. The Chargers defense,
Yeah.
that's not great.
I also have the Jaguars defense.
That might be a little bit better.
I'm currently dropping them for Russell Westbrook. He's gonna be my backup quarterback.
You mean Russell Wilson?
Russell Wilson.
Yeah, I was like Russell
Yes,
Westbrook. I was
Russell
like, that's the basketball player.
Yeah. Russell Wilson. Then my bench is Rasheed Rice,
Okay, I know the name.
Marquise Brown,
Oh, Hollywood Brown. Drop him, but continue.
Curtis Samuel,
Curtis Samuel. I'd also probably drop him too.
and Romeo Dobbs.
Romeo Dobbs, I might keep. Yeah, your bench sucks.
Yep. I'm also picking up Miles Sanders, so I don't have another running back.
You do need another one.
They drafted 2 running backs. That's it.
How many running?
They only drafted me 2
How many running backs start?
2.
Oh yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, I have no running backs on my bench. Like, what the fuck?
That's you give it auto draft.
Oh, dude, last year I had Lamar, Lamar's tight ends.
Oh yeah.
And dude, my team last year was so good. I had Derek Pollard. My team last year was so fucking good. It wasn't even fair.
God damn. Slack, do you play fantasy? I'm assuming not.
Fantasy Premier League, honestly.
How does fantasy soccer work?
Just you make a team of 11 with a budget of 100 million.
Oh, so you have a budget draft.
Yeah, just my girlfriend's brother wanted me to be a part of his league, so I just joined his. So I've been.
Interesting.
But that's all.
So like, how does the points go? Because like soccer historically is pretty low scoring. So
It's not just like about like goals and stuff. It's like passes completed, dribbles completed, tackles won, etc. So guys get points based on stuff like that.
okay.
I'm glad I checked this because I just realized that one of the guys is injured.
Didn't Premier League just start too?
Yep, and he already got hurt somehow.
Nice. Nice, very nice. My draft is coming up. We just have to plan it. Probably it's going to be like Labor Day weekend, like everything else that we usually do is. So it's the 10th year of me running this fantasy league. So we made some changes. So for instance, we're going to start fresh. So no one's going to do keepers.
Nice.
Yeah. So everybody.
Yeah, keeper leagues are tough.
Yeah. So everybody's on the table this year. And I eliminated divisions. We were doing divisions for a while. So I eliminated divisions, and at the request of a lot of the league, where we shortened our season so that our playoffs end, like the entire season ends a week before the NFL regular season. So like if you have a good player on the theory was you have a good player on a good team and they're already in the playoffs, then there's no incentive for that player to play and they might get benched when you're in like the championship game when you need them. So we pushed the season up. We ended the season early.
Holy shit, the Yankees got out of it.
Really?
Yeah, they got out of it.
I haven't checked my phone.
Was it a ground double play?
Nice.
Yeah, they got out of it.
Nice.
It's now Judge. Okay, it's 2 outs, first and third, because they fucking walked Judge. Because of course they did.
Jesus.
Soto grounded out. The rest of the lineup sucks ass.
Oh, they had a game at the TD Garden for the WNBA? Wait, what? Let me see this. Oh, shit. Why did they have this game at TD Garden? So, Will, check this out. WNBA had a game at the Los Angeles Sparks and the Connecticut Sun, and they played it at TD Garden.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's sold out.
Yeah. Good for them.
I was like,
Good
holy
for
shit.
them.
Yeah, no, that's pretty fucking wild. Very, very, very happy with them.
This.
Very, very happy with them.
Yeah, it's gonna be a very long fantasy season for your boy. They're projecting him to finish in 10th.
Out of how many? 12?
I think 14.
No, you're in a big league, dude. That sucks.
Yeah, 14. Yeah, I'm in a 14 team league.
leagues are hard.
It's fun though.
My league is 12, but I'm thinking about maybe expanding it to 14 since we don't have divisions anymore, and our season's now 14 weeks. Everybody would play everybody once, theoretically. So there would be no need for like tiebreakers and shit like that mostly.
God, Vertigo sucks. All right, fellas, I'm gonna hop
Yeah,
off.
I'm gonna hop off too. Slack, you're on your own.
Thank you, Slack. Good job.
Yes, and we will see all of you cool kids next week. Bye.
Midnight music.